ating mga nurses. Thank you so much po. So, okay na po, Sir Arnie.
Saglit lang po, connecting po si Sir.
Thank you po.
Relasyon niya malayo.
Number 7. Remind our participants to kindly mute your microphone po.
Ano na palimos na pulbos? Kaya natin. Nakain po na siya ng pangkain. Pangkain na. Oo. Doon sa Chengs.
Nire-remind lang po natin ang ating mga participants na paki-check niyo po ang inyong mga microphone. Paki-mute niyo po. Hindi po mag-feedback po ang sound. Thank you po. Let's have again our Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Sir Arnie Ventura. Sir.
Hello, hello. Hi, Ma'am Merlin. Okay na? Hello po.
Okay na po, sir.
Okay, sorry ha, lumipat pa ako kasi ang hirap ng connection din sa akin. Okay, pasensya na po. Okay, let's continue na. Okay, number 6, the school shall ensure the routine sanitation of frequently touched surfaces. Okay, dapat lagi natin sinasanitize yung mga tables, doorknobs, light switches, and others. The school shall place a trash bins, na mention ko na po ito na sa mga strategic location dapat may mga basurahan at mayroong mga visual signages. Okay, next slide. Students shall be responsible. I-orient natin ating mga learners na marunong silang or responsible sila sa pag-dispose ng kanilang mga used items. And the students shall be assigned to their own desk armchairs during classes. May permanenteng upuan ang bawat learner. Okay, they shall disinfect their own tables before and after use. Disinfection team shall be on standby within the school premises. Dapat may disinfection team na tayo, lagi nakatambay sa ating mga school premises. Students, teachers, and other employees shall be disallowed from sharing school items. Bawal po ang sharing ng mga school items. Okay. To be submitted by the learner shall be placed in a sterilization box for this infection. While ang mga learner, dapat may mga boxes tayo for submission ng mga outputs ng mga bawat bata. Hindi basta-basta isasabit. Dapat may mga boxes din. Okay, para sa nalalagyan ng mga items ng ating mga learners. At lahat ng outputs should be also disinfected. Ayan. Next slide. School administration shall be responsible for stockpiling of disinfectants and soap, ensuring adequate water supply and hand sanitizers in classrooms and hallways. Yung pong ating mga iba-ibang area sa labas, dapat meron tayong mga hand sanitizers na naka-standby doon. And the school shall ensure availability of hand soap, Okay, nasabi na po natin yan. Mga hand soap and other disinfectants in restrooms, classrooms, entrances, and others. The IR team shall also ensure that necessary disinfection activities are conducted, especially in the areas of the school frequently visited by personnel or learners. Okay, that tested positive. Okay, alam po dapat na yung po disinfection team natin, yung DRN team natin, aware po dapat sila. Next, communication strategy. The school shall have a proactive COVID-19 local hotline or help desk. Dapat meron po tayo niyan. Hotline or help desk or any similar local mechanism that co-directs and coordinates to the hospitals, testing facilities, and LGUs. Alam po natin yung mga hotline ng ating mga hospital, ng LGU, and other offices na may kinalaman sa mga protocols. Even school, meron po tayong helpline or help desk or hotline. Advisors shall keep a database of contact details including contact number or address of parents. Okay po yung ating database ng bawat section. May contact number ang bawat parent or guardian. Okay, meron po tayong referral system. Okay, nakaatas po yan sa ating manual or mga materials na ipadadala sa inyo. Next slide. Next slide. The school shall follow decision model and prepare a contingency plan for closing and reopening the school. Okay. In case of COVID-19 resurgence, the contingency plan shall include the following decision points for school lockdown. In case na mag-positive, dapat alam natin yung may contingency plan tayo. Halimbawa, may mga batang nag-positive. Dapat alam natin kung kailan siya ila-lockdown. Okay, distance learning modalities during lockdown and strategies for the reopening of schools after the lockdown. 2-4. The contingency plan shall also include strategies for the continuity of learning while the school is closed until local authorities have determined the safe resumption of face-to-face classes. Dapat bawat school po, in case na magkaroon lockdown sa bawat school, dapat may plano po tayo na paano matutuloy yung pag-aaral ng mga bata. Dapat meron po tayong plan B. Maaring bumalik muli sa distance learning habang naka-lockdown ng school. Pwedeng RBI ang gamitin habang naka-lockdown ng school. Pwedeng tablet ang gamitin habang naka-lockdown ng school o pwede rin namang printed materials ang gamitin habang naka-lockdown ang school. Okay. The declaration of school lockdown shall be dependent on the assessment of decision of the LTF against COVID-19. Okay, wag po kayong magla-lockdown. Ang school head, hindi po kayo magla-lockdown. Ang magdi-decide po dyan yung local task force against COVID-19 with the following consideration. When there is a suspect, probable, or confirmed COVID-19 case to facilitate disinfection and contact tracing. Pag may nag-positive, merong disinfection at meron ding contact tracing. Dependent on community transmission and quarantine risk identified by ITF. Okay, ito po ilang mga considerations kung kailan ila-lockdown ang school. Okay, next. Next, Sir Eric. In the event of school lockdown, all learners shall revert to distance learning. Automatic na magre-revert ang mga learners sa distance learning. Okay, during the lockdown, school management shall ensure contact tracing. Nabanggit ko na yan kanina. The following shall be considered for opening after school lockdown. After namang mag-lockdown, ano naman yung ating i-consider? Completed contact tracing, completed disinfection activities, 14 days without confirmed cases in the school, schools in barangay with low to no community transmission and area where the school is located is classified as minimal risk. Okay, halimbawa nag-lockdown na school, ito po yung mga i-consider natin na factor. Ano po? Okay, next. Upon reopening, the school shall conduct reorientation on current measures. Okay, kapag natapos na mag-lockdown, then nag-open na uli, may reorientation na naman uling gagawin on current measures. Ayan. Next. Home school collaboration to effectively manage the coordination between home and school, the other stakeholders, the following shall be taken into account. Okay, the school shall coordinate with the barangay health, emergency response, and of the local government unit, ensuring health protocols are observed properly. Dapat mag-strengthen po ang home and school collaboration. Okay, dapat lagi nakikipag-coordinate or may coordination ang school sa ating mga barangay health emergency response team. The school shall ensure that preventive alert system is school for COVID-19. Yan. Dapat alam din po natin yung preventive alert system in school. Yan po ay nasa DepEd Memo number 15 series of 2020. This means that the teacher shall ensure that health inspection is routinely conducted during the conduct of the face-to-face classes. Okay. Okay, sandali lang po at medyo nag-okay na yung signal.
Sir, Ernie, nawala po kayo.
The school shall conduct orientation to the parents, guardians, and school personnel regarding safe drop-off and pick-up procedures and safety precautions and preventive measures while commuting. Okay, dapat po meron tayong mga orientation sa parents. Regarding po dito. Okay, next slide. Okay, second na po tayo, second pillar, ensuring teaching and learning. Limited face-to-face classes will be implemented in a blended learning approach. As such, participating schools shall determine the most appropriate learning delivery modality to be adapted in combination with the face-to-face modality and the schedule of classes. Guidance for class scheduling. To guide the schools in implementing blended learning approach, the following protocols shall be observed. Face-to-face classes shall have a minimum number of learners as required in Section 7 of these guidelines. The number of classes in each school shall be organized in such a way that each class will be able to attend face-to-face classes every other week following the prescribed schedule of these guidelines. Meron po tayo dito mga suggested schedule ng klase. Paano po gagawin? Class schedule shall be arranged equitably so that all qualified learners will have the opportunity to attend face-to-face class. The school shall ensure that arrival, breaks, and dismissal time are staggered to avoid crowding of learners in the school's canteen and gates. Regardless of the learner's schedule, they shall only be allowed to have lunch in their respective homes. Okay, dapat po proper talaga. Even yung pagre-recess, dapat staggered siya, hindi po sabay-sabay. Okay. Table below illustrates the required class for Class A and B. For example, yung Class A, half-day face-to-face classes in one straight week. Or yung Class B naman, one straight week of pure distance learning. Hindi po sabay-sabay. Tuturuan po namin kayo kung paano magawa ng schedule of classes. Gagamitin po natin or aas natin ang assistance ng ating mga CID people para po sa pag-design ng class program and teachers program. Okay, next slide. All face-to-face classes shall be conducted half-day, preferably in the morning where learners are said to learn best. Lahat po ng face-to-face classes dapat umaga po talaga. Kasi morning where learners are said to learn best. Mas natututo mga bata pag umaga. Learners shall stay in school for maximum or 4.5 hours. Dapat ang mga learners po natin ay 4.5 oras lamang nasa school with the exception of kindergarten learners who shall stay in school for a maximum of 3 hours. Pag mga kindergarten naman, hanggang 3 hours lang talaga sila sa school. The learning areas organized for the face-to-face classes may be prioritized according to, okay, for learning areas, ano yung mga core learning areas natin? Yung English, Science, Math, ano ipa-priority natin? Na yun muna ang mabigyan ng tamang schedule, yung mga core learning areas. Learning areas that would need the use of laboratory or workshop. Ano-ano mga learning area na ipa-priority natin? Yung mga gumagamit ng laboratory, for example, TLE and even science subjects. And any combination in which the school finds the learner would need most instructional support. Okay. Kaya ang unahin po natin sa scheduling of classes ay yung mga major subjects, yung mga core learning areas, at the same time, yung nangangailangan ng laboratory, yung mga laboratory activities natin. Okay, illustrative example of class schedules may be grade by grade level, and post-teaching tasks are provided in Annex F. Provided na rin po yung mga sample sa mga materials na ipadadala namin sa inyo. Ensuring teaching learning delivery. Okay, the school authority shall ensure that the learning resources needed for the blended learning are sufficient. While on face-to-face setup, teachers shall maximize the use of available resource materials and optimize the time for learners' engagement, collaboration, and socialization while observing the health and safety protocols. Gagamitin po natin lahat ng mga learning resources na meron tayo, particularly yung ating mga textbooks, mga supplementary materials na nasa school. Ano pa po yun? Yung mga textbooks, yung mga SLMS, mga learning activity sheets, and other teacher-made learning materials. Pwede po natin yan gamitin. I-maximize natin ang paggamit ng mga learning resources na yon. It shall be ensured that all teachers ay may teacher's guide on a specific grade level. Alam ko po meron kayong lahat niyan. Teachers shall develop activity-based materials for mastery of learning delivered during face-to-face classes. Use of assessment rubrics shall be encouraged as a form of ongoing assessment to monitor learning progress and evaluate effectiveness of instruction. The school shall ensure the school requirement of its learner follows the depth issuances on academic is. Okay, next. Next slide. Teacher load shall be arranged equitably and fairly so that each teacher follows the maximum 6 hours instructional delivery per day. Yun pa rin po ang gagamitin natin, na ang teaching load ng mga teachers natin ay dapat 6 hours instructional delivery daily. The class advisor shall ensure that the attendance is closely monitored so that the teacher can determine which participant learning are exhibiting difficulties coming to school. In case learners cannot participate in face-to-face classes, they will be reverted to full distance learning. Okay. Group work that requires physical interaction shall not be allowed during face-to-face classes to avoid close contact with one another. Hindi pa po muna pwede yung cooperative learning this time o yung mga group activities. I-discourage po yan. Okay. After face-to-face lesson, teachers shall have consultation with parents, provide feedback, and instructional support for learners. Yan. Okay. Appropriate learning and development assistance, coaching, mentoring, training. Okay. Gagamitin pa rin po natin yon. And school learning action cell must be regularly conducted on the assessed needs of the teachers and providing instructional support to learners. Itutuloy-tuloy pa rin po natin yung mga development assistance, yung coaching, mentoring, and training, and even yung pagkakandak ng mga learning action cell. School shall also be prohibited to conduct physical or face-to-face large gatherings. Bawal pa rin po yung mga large gatherings sa bawat paaralan. Okay, next. Next po. Okay, sa curriculum, still we will be, gagamitin pa rin po natin yung prescribed na K-12 curriculum as a minimum requirement for all public and private schools. Okay. And for the pilot face-to-face classes, the focus of instruction shall be on most essential learning competencies. MELCs pa rin po ang ating gagamitin sa limited face-to-face classes. MELCs, yung mga most essential learning competencies. Dumako na po tayo sa next, yung including the most marginalized. Sino ba yung tinatawag nating most marginalized learners? Ito po yung mga indigent children, OSY, yung pang PWD, distressed individuals and families, low resource students, abandoned and neglected children, street children, children of former rebels, children living in conflict areas, yung mga SPED students natin, children with disabilities, children from geographically isolated and disadvantaged areas. Okay, wag po nating ini-neglect ang mga learners na ito. Kung pwede po silang pumasok sa school, pwede po natin silang tanggapin. Hindi natin sila pwedeng tanggihan. As long na na-meet nila ang mga criteria na kinakailangan sa face-to-face learning modality ng bawat learner. The health and safety protocols marginalize learners who need assistive devices that require them to remove their face mask shall be discouraged from participating to face-to-face classes. Ito, mga simple lang naman ito. Ano po, na-discuss ko na siya kanina. Dapat po yung mga considerations, yung mga i-extend natin sa mga bata na marginalized. In the event the parent guardian forces the participant of their child in face-to-face classes, the school shall ensure that the minimum health and safety protocols shall be strictly followed. Pwede po as long nagbigay ng permit ang mga parents or consent na nagbigay ang mga parents ng consent na papasukan nila mga bata, pwede po nating tanggapin. Pero kailangang ipatupad pa rin natin ang minimum health protocol para sa kanila. Okay, next. Next slide. Ayan, sige na, touch ko na yan. Next slide, yan na po. Okay, kung kailangan ng mga special learners natin ng mga modules in Braille and others, pwede po yan. Then yung sa school-based feeding, supplementary feeding program, okay pa rin po yan. Okay, and others. Okay, next slide. Next slide, please. Well-being and protection. Okay, ito naman po yung number 4 pillars, well-being and protection. Dapat bawat paaralan ay may strategy to prevent COVID-19. Ito, na-discuss ko naman po ito kanina. Strategy to prevent COVID-19. At alam na rin po naman ito ng bawat school head at ng DRM team ng bawat paaralan. Next, strategy to prevent COVID-19. Next slide. Ayan, next slide. Yan po yung na-discuss ko na rin kanina. Next slide, please. Next slide. Na-discuss na po yan kanina. Okay. Next slide. Yan. Strategy to detect COVID-19. Na-discuss na rin po yan kanina. Okay. Strategy to detect COVID-19. Next slide, please. Next slide. Strategy to isolate and treat COVID-19. Next slide. Next slide. Na-discuss na po yan. Next slide, Sir Eric. Next slide. Next slide, please. Next. Yun po ang mga, kung paano natin mapoprotektahan ang ating mga learners, dapat po meron tayong different strategies. And the last is yung psychosocial support. Ito po ay alam na rin po natin ito, or magpo-provide po ang ating School Health and Nutrition section regarding po sa mga psychosocial support. Yan. For the first 5 of school days, the first hour shall be devoted to discussion, facilitation of modules related to mental health. Kapag na-approve na po na tayo mag-o-open ng face-to-face classes, yung sa first 5 ng school days, ang usapin po doon or mga issues na i-discuss doon ay tungkol po lahat sa mental health. Okay, sa mental health. Ayan. Designated teachers shall be trained on how to facilitate the modules which cover the following mental health topics, in addition to modules on the nature of COVID-19 and preventive measures. Ayan. Okay, paano pag-iwas, ano yung mga minimum requirement. Yun ang i-study muna sa first 5 days ng klase. The school shall maintain set up a guidance office that will remain operational for the entire school year. Dapat lahat ng school ay may guidance office. Mahalaga po yan. At lagi siyang open. Okay, next. The school shall ensure the guidance office is staffed by a registered guidance counselor, or kung wala naman, dapat may designated guidance counselor tayo. Okay, the SDO shall set up a hotline. Okay, may hotline or help desk ang ating SDO. The school, true to its guidance office, shall ensure the provision of specialized. Ito medyo mahirap po ito, pero gagawa tayo ng kung paano natin masisettle ang number 5 na issue na ito. Next. Next po, next slide. establish and contextualize intersectoral referral pathways. Okay, the school shall engage parents, guardians, or any care providers of learners in taking care of mental health. Okay. Coordinate mechanism to ensure that the mental health and ito po mga mental health activities natin na ito ay gagawa po tayo ng localized kasi ni-require po tayo ng regional office na magawa ng mga mental health programs para po sa ating mga learners. Okay, next. Next slide. Ayan, sige, next slide please. About mental health pa rin yan. Okay, next slide, Sir Eric. Okay, then the strategy to reintegrate. Okay, yun, na-discuss ko na rin siya kanina. Then, next slide, yung mga close contact, mga procedures. Yeah, next slide, please. Mas i-enhance na lang po natin siya pag tayo po ay na-approve na. Okay, the roles and responsibilities, mayroon pong responsibilities ang DOH, ang DepEd, may responsibility para dito. Then, next slide. Focus na lang po tayo sa school at sa DO level. Ayan. Ito po ang sa central office. Then, next slide. Ito po naman ang sa region and division office. Doon ko lang po sa division office. Ang role po and responsibilities ng division office para po sa implementation ng face-to-face class learning modality. Number 1, prepare a division implementation plan for the conduct of limited face-to-face classes. Meron po initially nakapag-prepare na po kami ng division plan para po dito. Monitor and evaluate the implementation of limited face-to-face classes, and provide technical assistance. Ito po ang tatlong role ng Division Office. Pero mamaya, i-discuss ko po yung detalyadong plano ng Division Office tungkol dito. Then, next slide. Ito naman po ang role ng LGU at community. Okay, ito po. Hindi ko na po siya i-discuss yung role ng LGU at community. Next. Okay, dumako na po tayo sa Division Action Plan on the opening of limited face-to-face classes learning modality. Ano po ang kasalukuyang ginagawa at gagawin pa ng Division Office para po sa implementation ng face-to-face? Number 1 po, under po ng planning and organizing, creation of Division Task Force on the implementation of limited face-to-face classes. Kami po sa Division Office ay mag-create, dapat po ito November 14 to 15, mag-create po ng task force on the implementation of limited face-to-face classes. Among persons involved po dito, SDS, ASDS, DRM coordinator, SDO health personnel, planning officer, and SDO engineers representative from the CID at sa SGOD. Ito po ay base po sa joint circular, yung pong mga composition nito. I-define po namin ano ang terms of reference or trabaho ng bawat isa. Ganun din po, magsising sila para ng kanilang mga kaalaman tungkol sa pag-prepare ng Division Action Plan. Since ni-require na po ng regional office na po na kailangang inform na po namin ang field tungkol po sa agad-agad na paghahanda para sa implementation ng face-to-face. Kaya for the meantime, nagawa po muna kami ng simpleng Division Action Plan. At ito nga po ang planning and organizing. Next slide. Next slide. After po ng planning and organizing, ito po information dissemination. Isinabay po namin sa MANCOM, November 16 today, magbibigay kami ng overview o ng counting insights tungkol sa circular number 1, DOH and DepEd joint circular on implementation of limited face-to-face modality. And mamaya po after this, ibibigay naman ni Ma'am Daisy ang overview ng School Safe Assessment Tool. Ito po ay ginagawa natin ngayong araw na ito. Next. Next, Sir Eric. Next slide. And for me, aside from sa orientation ito, magkakaroon po muli tayo ng division orientation on the guidelines on implementation of limited face-to-face to school task force. May plano po kami na sa November 22 ay magkakaroon muli kami ng orientation sa inyong school task force. Ang mga bawat paaralan dapat po ay mag-create muna kayo ng school Task Force. At yung School Task Force na yon ay i-orient po namin sa November 22 regarding po sa details ng paggamit ng school assessment or safety assessment tool. November 22 po yan. Next. Next po. After naming ma-orient kayo, mula November 23 to December 29, magkakaroon po ng submission ng online submission facility tungkol po doon sa ginamit nating tool. Safety assessment tool, i-upload na po natin siya sa division facility para po mag-gather namin ang data sa bawat paaralan. Okay, next. Yun po under ng data gathering. Next slide. Data analysis. After po mag-gather ng division office, lahat ng data from the field, we will analyze and review the submitted data. From January 3 to January 15. In charge na po dito yung division task force, especially po the planning office. Then, we will validate the data from January 20 to January 30. Gagamitin na po natin ang ating mga DFTAC members para dito. And even the division task force para ma-validate ang data. Paano ba i-validate ang data na inyo isinabmit? Magkakandak po kami ng on-site or off-site validation. Pwede pong virtual validation, pwede po rin on-site validation. I-check namin ang bawat area ng paaralan, area on managing school operation, tungkol sa shared responsibility. Meron na ba kayong tinatawag na resolution from the barangay, resolution from the Sangguniang Bayan na kayo ipinapayagan? Meron ba kayong AWA? Meron ba kayong classroom layout and structure, store traffic management? Yung lahat ng discuss ko kanina, makikita na ba yun sa inyong paaralan? Yan po ay magsisimula sa February 2022. Magbibigay ng technical assistance ang lahat ng ating mga DFTAC members para dito. Next. Next po, next activity ng Division Office. Okay, still provision of technical assistance sa teaching and learning. Ito naman po ay concern ng mga CID people. Learning resources, class and teachers program, maingay, teachers profile, work home learning plan, teacher support, LAC, session, coaching, mentoring, and training. Ito po yun. Ano po? Ang ipoprovide ng mga taga-CID. Next. Under pa rin po ng provision of technical assistance. Next slide. Provision of technical assistance naman po sa well-being and protection. Ito naman po ang mga assistance na ibibigay ng mga school health and nutrition section natin and DRRM team. Ito po. Next. To be conducted din yan sa February 2022. Sa mga taga-CID pa rin po ito, including the most marginalized learners natin. I-check nila kung mayroong mga marginalized learners na nakasama sa implementation ng face-to-face learning modality. Next slide. Yan. Even yung home and school collaboration, i-check din po yan ng taga-SGOD. Next slide. By February 2022 rin po yan gagawin. Next. Ayan. Yung po ang initial plan ng division. I-improve pa po namin yun base po sa guidelines. Pero for the meantime, yun lang po muna ang division plan. Pero sa tingin ko, na-cover naman lahat. Ano po? Next, ito naman po ang proposed school action plan on the implementation of limited face-to-face classes learning modality. Okay, next. Next slide. Ito po ay suggestion lamang. Pwede nyo po siyang i-adapt. Number 1, ang gagawin po ng bawat paaralan ay ganito. Meron tayong phase 1, yung preparatory activity. Magkakaroon muna kayong planning and organizing. Mag-create kayo ng school task force. Ganun muna ang gagawin natin. School task force, mag-create muna kayo. Sino-sino ang member ng school task force? Ano ang trabaho ng bawat member ng school task force? At gagawa kayo ng sarili nyong action plan para dito. Pero pwede nyo nang gamitin ang suggested action plan namin na ito. Next. Next slide. Then after makapag-create kayo ng task force, magkakandak na kayo ng orientation tungkol sa diniscuss natin ngayon. Okay, tungkol sa safety assessment tool. Paano gagawin ang safety assessment tool? Paano siya i-accomplish? Yan. Yan ang next activity nyo, information dissemination na. Next. Next. Yan. After makapag-conduct ng orientation, magkakaroon kayo ng data gathering. Gagamitin nyo na ang school safety assessment tool. I-assess nyo na ang inyong paaralan base doon sa mga 4 na pillars. Okay, next. Yan ang tawag ng data gathering na, ano po? Next po, after makapag-gather kayo ng data, you are going to upload your SSAT to Division Online Facility from January 3 to 15, 2022. I-upload nyo na yan. Upload na. Then after ma-upload, next, after nyo ma-upload, yun ang tiyatawag ng submission of data. After ma-upload, kami naman pong taga-division office ay bababa na sa field. Magkakaroon po kami ng on-site or online validation to check the following areas. Ano yung area na yun? Yung diniscuss ko na 4 na areas kanina or 4 na pillars, i-check na lahat yun. Okay. Ang tool na gagamitin namin sa pag-check ay yung pong tool ng School Safety Assessment Tool. Okay. Kaya activate na uli natin ang ating Division Task Force, yung DFTAT. Next. After po ng validation or during validation, magbibigay kami ng iba-ibang technical assistance, mga suggestions kung paano pa may improve ang ating readiness sa pag-o-open ng limited face-to-face online learning modality. Ito yung second pillar natin. Bababa ang taga-CID para magbigay ng assistance dito para i-validate. Next. Ang focus ng CID ay teaching and learning. Ito naman po, bababa ang mga school health, mga nurses natin to check the next pillar, well-being and protection pillars. Okay, i-check lahat po nila yan. Even ating DRN team, bababa rin para mag-provide ng technical assistance sa area na ito. Next. Yan. Even the marginalized learners, i-check din. Laging kasama yung mga disadvantaged learners natin. Mga marginalized learners. Kasama kung may napasama talaga mga learners. Kasi yun po nga pa yung principle of equality. Then, home school collaboration. I-check din yan. Kayo ba'y nakipag-coordinate sa barangay, sa LGU, sa mga parents? Okay, next. Nag-conduct ba kayo ng orientation? By February 2022 na yan. Next. Then, after na makapagbigay or after na pag-online and offline validation ng ating mga taga-division office, ang ating task force and the FTAT members, lahat ng mga technical assistance na ibinigay nila sa inyo ay magkakaroon po muli kayo ng recalibration ng inyong plano base sa mga TA na ibinigay. Magkakandak uli kayo ng meeting sa mga members ng school task force. Okay, meeting. Okay. At muli ninyong i-improve ang lahat ng yung 4 pillars na yon. I-improve nyo muli by February 2022. I-improve nyo uli ang inyong mga school plans. Then, next, magagawa muli kayo ng inyong action plan base sa mga technical assistance na i-provide sa inyo ng DFTAT. After nyan, yung plano nyo yun ay muli nyong i-implement sa inyong mga paaralan. Then, next, Sir Eric, next. After that, na-implement nyo na, magkakaroon muli kayo ng reassessment. After na ma-implement niyo yung mga technical assistance, yung mga bago yung plano sa school, magkakaroon kayo ng reassessment. Magkakandak ulit kayo ng re-evaluation tungkol sa level ng readiness ng inyong school para sa pag-o-open ng face-to-face classes. Ang gagamitin nyo uling tool ay yung School Safety Assessment Tool. Then after that, ayan, pwede tayong, sabi nga natin kanina, pwede natin gamitin ang ating mga resources outside, partnership, hingi tayo ng tulong sa community, sa parents, sa LGU, para address ang ibang mga problema natin sa paaralan. Kasi hindi po ito kaya ng DepEd lamang. Kailangan po natin dito ng strong partnership with our stakeholders. Next, reassessment. After ng reassessment, okay, using the SSAT, isasubmit na natin uli ang ating SSAT sa online facility natin. Then after ma-submit sa online facility, ayan, may validation po muli ang ating DFTAT members and ang Division Task Force. May validation sa ating mga paaralan kung nag-improve na muli ang ating preparation or the level of readiness ng preparation for limited face-to-face, then magkakaroon po ng final assessment sa readiness. Okay. Okay, final assessment na po ito. Next slide. Ayan. Kapag pumasa na ang bawat paaralan, nasunod natin yung plano na yun, nag-improve na, naging handa na ang ating paaralan, yan na po ang start ng, at pinayagan na, okay na ang lahat, okay na yung nasa tool natin, nagawa na natin lahat, saka pala ang dadako sa implementation phase. Limited face-to-face learning modality. Yung po ang process na dadaanan natin bago tayo mag-implement ng limited face-to-face learning modality. Then, magkakaroon ng monitoring and evaluation. Dito naman po papasok si Ma'am Daisy. Monitoring and evaluation ng implementation ng limited face-to-face learning modality sa bawat paaralan. Okay, that's all about learning face-to-face, the implementation of limited face-to-face learning modality. My next topic, maikli na lang po ito. Yung 2021 Accord for Consistent Exemplary Services, yung search for the most outstanding teaching and non-teaching personnel. Thank you very much po sa 29 districts na nag-participate. Meron po tayong 7 districts na hindi man lang nagpadala ng kahit isang nominee sa kanilang paaralan. Ibig sabihin, wala pong magaling sa 7 district na yon. Nakakalungkot naman po. Kaya nga po in-establish natin, ini-strengthen natin ang praise program para ma-recognize ang ating mga teachers sa field and even the school heads and even the school and district offices natin. Pero nakakalungkot, meron pong 7 distrito na hindi man lang nagpadalang kahit isang teacher na outstanding sa kanilang district. Dati po kanina nakasulat yung district dito, pero hindi ko po, binura ko po siya kasi po alam naman nila kung sino po yung mga district na hindi nag-participate o hindi man lang nagpadala ng isang entry sa kanilang mga distrito. Okay, next slide. Ito po yung mga, actually natapos na po naming i-judge ang mga outstanding teachers and non-teaching personnel natin. Nakakuha na po kami ng mga most outstanding teachers, elementary and secondary school. Pina-finalize na lang po namin kasi may konti pa po kaming validation na gagawin sa field. Okay, meron po tayong 5 outstanding, 5 finalists for every category. Ano po? According to size, may small school, medium school, and large school. Meron rin po tayong master teacher, school head, elementary and secondary, most outstanding iPad teacher, open high school teacher, special education teacher, madrasa education teacher, kinder teacher, multi-grade teacher, and alternative learning system teacher. Meron na po tayong outstanding education program supervisors dito sa division. Meron na rin po tayong most outstanding public school district supervisors. Meron na po tayong outstanding elementary and secondary school. Meron rin po tayong most outstanding teaching and non-teaching teaching personnel level 2, outstanding reading program, outstanding researchers for every team, for example sa governance, learning and instruction, meron din po tayong outstanding researchers, and even sa child protection, meron din po tayong outstanding teachers and outstanding district offices. We have 4 outstanding district offices, 2 sa North, 3 sa North at 1 sa South. Okay, thank you very much po sa nag-participate sa ating pong first ever search for the most outstanding teaching and non-teaching personnel in the entire division of Palawan. Okay, gusto lang po namin i-recognize, ito po ang mga top 20 natin sa OPCRF elementary level. Medyo lumabo, Sir Eric. Okay, hindi mabasa. Most outstanding.
Sir, malinaw po
Ah,
dito, sir.
Ayan, yan, okay na. Okay, nakakatuwa naman po kasi ang nag-top 1 po natin ay from Bethlehem Elementary School. Okay, kamag-anak talaga ito, Kristiyano. Bethlehem Elementary School, si Ma'am Diana Marcelo, 4.99. Okay, nasumunod po from Nara District 1 din Batang-Batang, 4.98 si Ma'am Leia Villar. Then Panitian, Ma'am Rosalie Monte Alto, 4.96. San Isidro Elementary School, from Nara again, Carmela Pactao, 4.95. Then Taytay Tus, Abungan Elementary School, Ma'am Tiris Castro, 4.95. Dumaran Mainland, Santa Teresita, Ma'am Erlinda Dumael, 4.9. Ipilan Elementary School, Joyce Pascual, 4.9. Mariwara Elementary School, Aramaywan Elementary School, basahin ko lang po ang pangalan. Ma'am Joyce Pascual, Ma'am Melda Dalit, Ma'am Sir Samson Kaabay, Ma'am Eden Kaabay, Winnie Lorzano, Elisa Lotilia, Roselyn Ferrer, Rogelia Milyapre, Remilin Francisco, Ariel Gaspay, Manuel Cruzat, Jonathan Badang, Sofia Villarreal, and Mary Ann Usman. Ito po yung top 20 natin. Alam niyo po, motivation din po ito pag sinabi natin yung mga top performing school. And alam niyo po kung bakit namin ginaganito. Para po ma-inspired natin ang other mga school heads na nire-recognize pa ng DO ang mga performing elementary school heads. Ang pinakamababa po sa top 20 ay 4.81. Ang taas, puro outstanding. And i-request po naman namin sa top 20 na ito na dapat po ayos na ayos ang inyong mga MOBs ng lahat na ito, naka-file siya ng ayos. Kasi one of these days, pag nag-regular na po tayo, nagbumalik na sa normal situation, ay ma-benchmark naman namin ang bakit kayo naging most outstanding pagdating sa performance. Paki-ready po ng inyong mga MOBs para dito. Ano po, para makikipakita natin sa iba na iyon ang inyong ginagawa. Actually, ito naman po validated. Next, for the secondary naman po, ang nanguna po ang Magara School for Philippine Craftsmen, Sir Erwin Yaban. Then si Sir Edgar Dumucha, 4.96. Sir Yaban, 4.98. Then si Ma'am Leia Rondael, Ma'am Labi Lintalan, Sir Roy Bacomo, Ma'am Amelia Cervantes, si Sir Benjamin Ablasa, Ma'am Evelyn Nadado, Ma'am Filomena Alanes, Sir Gideon Galomo, Ma'am Nova Dote, Ma'am Evelyn Nadado, Ma'am Heidi Madrinian, Ma'am Lueda Cabulao, Ma'am Mylene Billones, Ma'am Sir Lim, Julhaber Lim, Markel Abinido, Sir Benji Lamitar, Ma'am Donesa Mi Bermudez, and hindi ko mabasa, Dawil, ayan, ng Calawag National High School. Pag ibig sabihin, pag outstanding talagang performance natin, dapat wala po kayo mga kaso dito sa division office kasi most outstanding. Dapat makikita po yan, hindi lamang sa papel, lalo na po sa ating performance, sa human relations, sa ating mga kasamahan. Congratulations po sa ating top 20 elementary and secondary school heads. Okay. Virtual orientation and school improvement planning, advanced info. Gagawa po muli tayo ng 3-year development plan ng kanya-kanyang paaralan that will be conducted on November 24, 2021. Okay, next slide. That's all about my presentation. Pasensya na po, medyo napahaba kasi nag-focus po tayo sa ating preparation on implementation of limited face-to-face learning modality. Muli, maraming pong salamat. Thank you po sa pakikinig.
Thank you so much, Sir Arnie, for a very comprehensive presentation and for recognizing our dear teachers, school heads, and our top-performing schools. At sana po, na-remind din po tayo ng mga important details for the preparation of limited face-to-face classes, prioritizing the health and safety protocols. Lahat po tayo ay namimiss na ang face-to-face classes at nagdarasal na matapos na itong pandemic. So as the saying goes, when you have a dream, you've got to grab it and never let go. Life has got all those twists and turns, but nothing is impossible. We have to stand up for what we believe in and what is best for our learners and the entire SDO Palawan family.
Yes, absolutely. During this time of uncertainty, in order for us to achieve our goal in life, all of us have been strongly encouraged to work remotely following the health safety standard protocols at all times. At the end of the day, it is you that matters most. Move forward to present to us the safety assessment tool for face-to-face opening of classes. Let's welcome the pride of the School Governance and Operations Division, a senior education program specialist of School Management Monitoring and Evaluation Section, Ma'am Daisy Ann P. Atrero. Sir Kevin, paki-unmute si Ma'am Daisy. Thank you.
Hello? Ayan, okay. Thank you very much to our two vibrant masters of ceremony, Ma'am Marlene and Ma'am Beth. First of all, our greetings to our most beloved Schools Division Superintendent, Sir Roger F. Capa, our two assistants, Sir Arnie and Sir Fines, our Chief Education Supervisors, Ma'am Felina Padrones and Ma'am Al Marquez, colleagues here at the Division Office, and our partners in the field, our very active school heads and teachers, our fellow workers at this agency. A pleasant morning to everyone. And also I send my special greetings to our private schools, administrators, and the faculty who are also joining us this morning. I was tasked to present an important component of one of our agenda for today's Mancom, and this is the school assessment tool in preparation to the limited face-to-face learning modality. Halos lahat po sa atin nandoon yung clamor na bumalik sa face-to-face. Parents nakikiusap sa mga teachers, as the school heads, and everybody in the community dahil dito po tayo nasanay. And now, DepEd is listening to our sentiments. That is why we are doing our best to slowly, gradually go back to the things they were before. And so here is the tool that we shall use as we evaluate our schools. Are we really ready to go back to face-to-face learning modality? On the first part of our tool, this is important. Please do not leave this blank. We are asking for your school ID, the name of school, the contact number of the school head, and the email address. For our public school school heads, please use your DepEd email addresses. The item number 1 covers shared responsibility. So the indicators are, number 1, for the past 28 days, meron po bang nag-positive sa inyong barangay, sa inyong locality? So or to the barangay hall and check the official records of the barangay. Hindi po pwedeng sabihin lang na may nag-positive. Kailangan po yan ay confirmed, yan ay verified, at yan ay recorded. Next is we have to know, is your school accessible through public transportation? If yes, what specific mode? A motor vehicle, a bangka, ilagay nyo po dyan. Habal-habal. Is the school accessible through walking? Meron po tayong mga school na ma-access mo lang through walking at hindi pwedeng pumasok ang motorcycle or any motor vehicle. So, specify po dito sa space na katabi. And this, ito po ang pinaka-importante talaga sa lahat. Ito po ang magdedetermine if you are really qualified for face-to-face. The school has secured support of the local government unit, be it barangay, municipality, or province, through a resolution or a letter of support. And in this part, meron po tayong means of verification, and that is the copy of the barangay or municipal letter of support or resolution. So this early, we are encouraging our school heads, makipag-ugnayan po tayo, establish linkage with your barangay officials, with your municipal leaders, and explain to them, alamin sa kanila ano ang stand nila sa muling pagbabalik sa face-to-face. Kung medyo may alinlangan, then talk it out with them para ma-clarify po. Maaring misinformed ang ating mga LGUs. So maganda po na nakikipag-usap tayo. Ang mga school heads, sipagan po natin na makipag-ugnayan sa ating mga community leaders. Huwag pong iasa sa ating mga teachers. Iba rin po kasi ang dating na ang school head ang siya mismong nakikipag-usap. Next is the school has secured written consent from parents or guardians who will participate. Kailangan po may consent and it must be in black and white. Kailangan po talaga yan, signed ng mga parents or guardians. The school has mobilized resources and support from community stakeholders. This should be proven by your support given by stakeholders, by PTAs, mga private organizations, dyan po sa inyong lugar. So kailangan meron din po itong MOB, meron ding black and white. The school has conducted simulation activities. Natatandaan nyo po nung last year, nung school readiness, nagkaroon tayo ng simulation. Then we shall do the same. And this should be supported by an accomplishment report. Next is papunta na po tayo sa alternative work arrangement. The school has implemented an alternative work arrangement or AWA necessary to deliver quality basic education. Number of teachers, ilan po ang pumapasok. So ang ating pong MOB dyan ay yung ating AWA plan. Teachers who physically report, of course, 65 years old and below. Teachers who physically report do not have comorbidities, immunodeficiency, or any health risk or conditions supported by medical certificate. Teachers who do not have service vehicles from and to area of residence and school. So meron po tayo dapat profiling or list of teachers with data of residence. Teachers who physically report are from within the municipality where school is located. The school has oriented teaching personnel and non-teaching personnel on the AWA. Ito po yung sinasabi ni Sir Ernie kanina. Uunahin po natin ang orientation sa ating mga kasamahang mga teacher. And this should be supported by an accomplishment report. The next is classroom layout and structure. The school has established mechanisms inside the classroom to ensure zero to minimal risk of COVID-19 transmission of the learners. Familiar na po tayo dito, as I mentioned kanina, yung ating school readiness last year or prior to the opening of the school year. So talagang naka-establish na yung physical layout ng ating mga classrooms. Then we shall do the same. Uulitin po natin yon at mas paiigtingin pa natin. The number of seats to be occupied must not exceed from the required number of maximum learners in the classroom. So meron pong Annex D and F. Ito, ang legal basis po pala nitong aking dinidiscuss na tool ay yun pong DepEd Memorandum number 71, Series of 2021, and of course, DepEd and DOH Joint Memorandum Circular number 1, Series of 2021. So ito po mga annexes na to ay ipoprovide sa inyo kasama po nitong tool. The seats to be occupied must be at least 1 to 2 meters apart and shall be equivalent to the number of learners present. There should be markers and stickers, yung mga nailagay na natin noon, baka luma na, yung mga pintura na nilagay nyo sa sahig, yung mga X marks dyan, baka kailangan na pong palitan. The availability of working electric fans, kung meron pong kuryente sa atin, open windows and doors at all times, at medyo linisin na rin po natin ang ating mga bintana at mga pinto. The installation of appropriate ventilation equipment. Ito po ay kung may kapasidad ang ating paaralan. The school has set up clear and easy to understand signages, preferably in local languages, even in Braille, and mechanisms to strengthen observance of health protocols and protective measures. This should be supported by signages, photos, and approved proposal. Display of school map at the entrance point indicating the location of the classrooms. The designation of separate entrance and exit points in the school. Meron na po tayo nito. Designation of separate entrance and exit points in high traffic areas. Designated entrance and exit points in the classrooms, hallway ground markings for walking direction guide, yung mga arrows natin dyan. Kailangan talagang tama yung direksyon ng ating mga arrow. Designation of areas for queue. The school has established safe entrance and exit procedures for teachers, learners, and non-teaching personnel, and even parents and visitors. So dapat merong signage, photos, and approved proposal. Yan po ang ating mga MOV. The availability of temperature thermal scanner or thermal gun in entrance and or exit gates. Yung ating mga, tingnan po ang ating mga temperature, baka luma na, hindi na gumagana, mahina ang baterya. So ayusin po natin yan. The availability of hand sanitizer or alcohol dispenser in school gates. Titingnan po natin yan. Surgical masks at school entrance reserved for symptomatic individuals. The school has established a contact tracing procedures or tools for school goers. Meron po tayong Annex G, the Health Declaration Sheet Database. And we also have health declaration sheet for school personnel, students, and contact tracing tool for school goers. Meron po tayong mga corresponding printed forms. The school has mobilized the school COVID-19 DRRM team. So nabanggit po ito ni Sir Ani kanina, we have to create a DRRM team para po sa mga school na wala pa, or we have to update or baka kailangang dagdagan. So ang ating MOV, the list of your DRRM team. And this should be supported by a school memo. The designation of safety officer who shall serve as a focal person. So mag-identify na po tayo. The school has set up a proper sanitation and hygiene facility. Picturean po natin yan, an accomplishment report. Dapat meron po tayong hand washing station. Yes, we have that. Clean and safe toilet facilities. The schedule of supervised hand washing and toothbrushing activities. The placement of hand washing facilities in a strategic location. Meron po tayong mga konting napuntahan na school, ang layo ng kanilang hand washing facility. Dapat po yan ay malapit sa entrance. The placement of trash bins in strategic locations. The visual signages on proper waste management. The school has ensured regular sanitation and disinfection of school facilities, furniture, and equipment. Actually, ito pong sanitation, even our own teachers, school personnel, pwede po tayong maturuan. Tayo na po mismo ang gumawa ng regular sanitation. And this sanitation should be frequently done. And to support this, kailangan po meron tayong schedule na nakapost sa ating school bulletin board. The schedule of disinfection of school facilities, ayan po, may schedule yan. The availability of sanitation and disinfecting materials. Ito po mga sinasabi ko, you might listen to this na parang ang dami naman, ang haba naman, but actually ginagawa na po natin ito. The school has ensured proper disposal system of infectious waste such as used tissues and masks in non-contact receptacles. So ito pong pag-dispose ng mga ganitong materials ay hindi basta-basta. So ang MOV po natin dito ay may schedule, disposal, the collection, availability of medical grade face mask required for school personnel when collecting or handling the leak-proof yellow trash bag container. Ito po, treatment through disinfection. Ayan, alam na po natin yan. Ang chlorine, 1:10. This is the standard in accordance with DOH Department Memorandum Number 20-0157 or Guidelines on Cleaning and Disinfection in Various Settings. The disposal of the disinfected PPE with general waste to the final disposal facility. Ito po, the school has developed a communication plan. Ang ating pong MOV dito, availability of communication platform such as group chat, Facebook page, ano pa po ba yung mga pwede nating gamitin para ang communication ay mabilis na ang information na disseminate kaagad sa ating mga dapat puntahan ng mga kasama. Database of contact details. So, MOV po yan. Development of child-friendly IEC materials. Kayang-kaya natin gawin yan. The school has prepared an orientation session for learners. Ito po, mahalaga itong orientation and this should be documented with attendance sheet and pictures, pati po minutes. So tuwing magpapamiting po ang school head, mag-assign na agad ng somebody na magtitake ng picture, hiwalay din yung magtitake ng minutes para po siguradong documented. Kung ano po yung mga concerns ng ating mga stakeholders, ng mga parents, guardians, dapat po yan ay talagang nino-note down natin. Kung kaya nyong i-address within your level, do so. Kung hindi po, pwede nyo naman pong ipaabot dito sa Division F office and we shall be happy to provide technical assistance. The schedule of the orientation, at least 1 week prior to the conduct of the face-to-face classes. So may matrix po tayo dyan. Orientation materials, ihanda na po. The school has proactive COVID-19 local hotline. Ito po, meron na tayo nito, itong hotline na ito. The school has prepared a reorientation session for stakeholders supported by photos and accomplishment report. The school has followed a decision model and contingency plan. So kailangan po meron tayong school contingency plan. Inclusion of decision points for school lockdown, yung binanggit po kanina ni Sir Arnie, dependent on the assessment and decision of the local task force against COVID. Hindi po ang school ang basta-basta nagdedeklara ng lockdown. Kailangan po yan, may go signal ang ating local IATF. In the event of school lockdown, all learners shall revert to distance learning. Automatic po yan. Implementation of the 24-hour granular lockdown. Consideration on the following. Completed pag nag-lockdown tapos babalik magbubukas uli ang school, contact tracing, disinfection, kailangan 14 days na walang confirmed case. Masyado pong maingat ang DOH at ang DepEd. Implementation of return to work, school work policies, ayan. So kanina po ang MOB natin, contact tracing form and also a logbook. The school has developed strategies for the continuity of learning. Meron na po tayo nito, school learning continuity plan. Distance learning modalities during lockdown, strategies for the reopening of schools. The school has secured sufficient supply of learning resources needed for the face-to-face. Ang MOB po natin, inventory of available SLMs. Ang ating pong SLM, 1:1. Also textbook, 1:1. The school has designed class programs that cater both learners of the limited face-to-face class arrangement and distance education while observing the maximum 6-hour classroom teaching hours of teachers. Arrangement of the number of class sections. Ayan po, dito i-TTA tayo ng CID, class program. And then jump po tayo dito sa number 27. The school has comprehensively profiled learners who will participate in the implementation of the face-to-face classes. School heads, mag-assign na po ng or i-orient na ating mga advisors to prepare a list or profile of learners by grade level and by class. Learners, ano po ba ang laman ng profile? Learners who reside within the municipality. Learners who can walk their way to school or ride with available private transport or with regulated public transportation. Learners without existing comorbidities. Prioritization of learners who require childcare, such as those whose parents must work outside the home or do not have directly available and immediately responsible adults or guardians at home. Prioritization of learners who are heavily dependent on face-to-face learning interventions. Sino po ba itong mga heavily dependent? Sila po ang ating mga kindergarten, grade 1, grade 2, and grade 3 pupils. Ito po ay pinag-aralan na ng ating mga experts and they determined na ang face-to-face ay kailangan talaga ng ating mga kinder hanggang grade 3. Prioritization of learners who struggle to meet required learning competencies. Prioritization of senior high school learners enrolled in TVL track because they require workshop equipment in school. Mas kailangan talaga ng face-to-face ng ating mga senior high TVL students. So kinder to grade 3 and senior high TVL students. Prioritization of learners that are documented to be affected by mental health concerns. Yung mga dumaranas na po ng depression, anxiety, yung mga nahirapang mag-adjust sa new normal, sila po yung ibibigay sa kanila ang priority. Because their conditions may be eased by face-to-face interactions. So paano po natin ito malalaman? Kailangan kinakakausap natin ang mga parents, kinukumusta ang mga bata, ang mga advisors, kumusta na ang ating mga estudyante. Sino sa kanila yung nagkaroon na ng mga behavioral changes? So sila po yung priority na i-consider sa face-to-face. The school has ensured an attendance monitoring of learners to determine which participating learners are exhibiting difficulties in coming to school and which learners who cannot participate in face-to-face classes because they will revert to full distance learning. Ang ating pong MOV is School Plan of Monitoring for Learners Attendance. The school has informed teachers to conduct consultations with parents. So kailangan po ito ng photos and accomplishment report. The school has ensured prohibition of conduct of physical or face-to-face large gatherings, group work or activities that will require close contact. Ito po hindi dapat nating mapapabayaan. Kailangan ng physical distancing at all times. So kailangan po meron tayong school guidelines na approved ng ating school head at in conformity ang ating mga parents and also the teachers. The school has provided an appropriate learning and development support plan. So kailangan natin ng LAC plan and LAC or LAC plan and LAC accomplishment reports. Coaching, mentoring, and training, kailangan din po natin yan. The school has oriented teachers on their budget of work and ensured that the school requirement for the learners is in observance of academic ease. Orientation on the implementation of most essential learning competencies supported by the checklist of MELCs taught per module. Orientation on the observance of academic ease. So kailangan ng implementation plan and pictures. The school has secured sufficient supply of PPE for learners and school personnel. So kailangan po ng inventory of available health kit. Kailangan ng 1:1 face mask, 1:1 face shield, 1:1 toothbrush and toothpaste, 1:1 bar of soap. So, ni-inform na po natin ang ating mga school heads so that pag kayo ay nagawa ng inyong AIP, makonsider nyo po itong mga requirement na ito para alam na po kung ano ang pagtutuunan ng ating mga MOOE. Availability of emergency health kits that include PPEs for team members. The school has secured adequate supply of face masks, face shields, and other protective gears for learners. We shall check your inventory of available health kit. Replacement, 1:1 replacement of lost and damaged PPE to person ratio. The school has ensured that the available sanitation and disinfection materials are approved by FDA. Tiyakin po natin na yung ginagamit natin mga sanitation and disinfection materials ay FDA approved at hindi po kung saan in-order lang online. So hanapan nyo po ng FDA mark. Sodium hypochlorite recommended ratio, ayan, i-orient po tayo ng ating school health nutrition, ng ating mga nurse regarding this. Ethanol in all surfaces, hydrogen peroxide. The school has secured sufficient supply of sanitation and disinfection materials. I hope our school supply officers are also listening. I-take note nyo po itong mga mahahalagang materials na nire-require sa atin. Hand sanitizers, alcohol-based solutions, disinfectants, PPE requirements. Dito na po tayo sa 38. The school has developed strategies to prevent COVID-19. Observe as evidence when these are made functional. Ito po yung mga protocols natin or strategies. Hand hygiene and temperature checks using a thermal scanner prior to entering the school. Ngayon pa lang po, this early, dapat pinapractice na po natin ito. Prioritization of non-face-to-face communications and coordination through available platforms and discouragement of entrance of school visitors and other external stakeholders. Kaya natutuwa po tayo na many of our schools have their own Facebook pages or Facebook group. So maganda po ito, meron kayong FB group kasama or group chat kasama yung mga parents, mga stakeholders para hindi na po kailangan pumunta sa school. Also, i-practice na rin po natin yung paggagamit ng email or messenger. The conduct of daily rapid health checks in the classroom, conduct of necessary disinfection, availability of surgical face mask, establishment, setting up refurbishment of a school clinic. Last year, ni-require po natin ang school clinic. It's high time. Nalagyan na po natin yan ng mga laman. Pati yung mga kama dyan na kailangan, ikumpleto na po natin. Designation of private screening area at the entrance where school-goers who show symptoms upon screening can be further examined or referred. So, kailangan po may picture yan, yung designated private screening area. Designation of separate space where sick schoolgoers who have been managed in the clinic can temporarily stay. So, kailangan din ng picture. Kailangan meron tayong clinic teachers in the absence of school health personnel. Orientation to the clinic teacher by the school health personnel at the SDO. Yun, i-orient po ang ating mga clinic teacher. Reiteration of protocols for learners, teachers, and personnel who manifest COVID-19 symptoms to not physically report to school and seek medical advice virtually if possible. So kailangan po ng MOB ng poster or school guidelines. Record of student health status and development including immunization check. So kailangan po ng individual records. The school has identified strategies to detect COVID-19. So kailangan po ng implementation plan. We should cooperate with the local health authorities. Presence of school DRRM team, yes or no? Close coordination with epidemiology, surveillance unit officers per setting, Ito po sa DOH, LGU, ayan, i-check natin yan kung tayo nakikipag-coordinate. Development of a reporting system, provision of health form to parents or guardians, ang MOV natin, ang health form. The school has developed strategies to isolate and treat COVID-19. So kailangan ng pictures, ng designation rooms, availability of transport vehicles from school to temporary treatment and monitoring facilities. Hindi naman po ito kailangan ng bongga. Ang iniisip ko po sa part na to, yung mga school natin na mga far-flung, mga nasa remote areas, you coordinate with the barangay para makikigamit po tayo ng kanilang transport vehicles. Notification of family member or guardians of the learners kapag may symptoms, immediate isolation, provision of necessary emergency care. So kailangan natin ng record or list of personnel or learners. Referral and for disclosure, strict observance of advice from health authorities, report of the close follow-up of the attending or assigned school health personnel. So kailangan ng list of personnel or learners. Strict compliance of learners and personnel who have tested positive. Kailangan ng intervention activities. Monitoring and provision of necessary support of the school head to all cases. So kailangan nakadocument po kung ano ang mga actions taken ng school head sa close contact, sa suspect, probable, or confirmed. Coordination of school head to all cases with DepEd school health personnel and local health authorities. Coordination of school head with the SDO. Strict observance of provision of Section 4A, the screening of returning personnel and learners, and testing protocol. Meron po tayong corresponding DepEd order tungkol dyan. The school has developed strategies. Ito na po, last part na po ito. At gusto po natin itong bigyang diin at gusto nating susugan ang mga tinura ni Sir Arnie po kanina. Kailangan po natin ng implementation plan in providing psychosocial support to the teachers and learners and personnel. Allotment of time and preparation on mental health, designation of trained teachers, setting up of an operational guidance office, availability of hotline platform in the SDO, provision of specialized psychosocial support, establishment and contextualization of the intersectoral referral pathways, engagement of parents or any care providers of learners on taking care of mental health, coordination of mechanisms to ensure that the mental health and basic needs of learners are met, strict adherence to Republic Act 10173 or the Data Privacy Act. Sa lahat po ng ginagawa natin, pagka sino may symptoms, sino may nag-positive, hindi po yan sinasabi ng parang ordinary information lang. We should always be reminded of the provisions of Data Privacy Act of 2012, and we should observe this at all times. Promotion of school balance, mobilization of trained psychological first aid, clear procedure of referral system, communication plan. The school has established contact tracing and quarantine system. Ang dami pong communication plan, pero ito naman po ay madali lang gawin. The flow chart. Ang profiling of learners, ito po ang dapat naka-categorize at kasama sa ating profiling ang mga indigent children, OSY, physically and mentally handicapped, distressed individuals and families, low resource students, abandoned and neglected, street children, children of former rebels, meron po ba kayo dyan? The children living in conflict-affected areas, dapat po nakaspecify yan. Or children with disabilities and our SPED students and children from the geographically isolated and disadvantaged areas. The last part, the school has identified learners who are most vulnerable and disadvantaged in terms of access. So, kailangan po talagang ma-profile. So, ito po, nakalatag na po ano mga dapat tinatanong sa profiling of learners. At dapat meron po tayong implementation plan for learning strategies para sa mga estudyante natin na gumagamit ng sign language. The school has ensured participation in school-based services, which includes but is not limited to feeding and nutrition programs, immunizations. I'm sure sa sunod-sunod po na capacity building na ginagawa ng ating school health and nutrition at ng youth formation, ay check na po tayo dyan. The school has established close coordination with DSWD case managers. Partner din po natin ang National Council on Disability Affairs. The school has coordinated with the respective LGUs with the implementation of routine school-based immunization and other school health-related services such as but not limited to deworming and weekly iron folate acid supplementation. Routine implementation of SBI, facilitation and of the completion of routine immunizations. So tuloy-tuloy pa rin po ang pagbabakuna ng ating mga nurses. Ang MOV po dito, copy of request letter or resolution and photos of accomplishment report. So ating mga nurse, sipagan po ang documentation. I'm sure ginagawa na po natin yan. The school has developed a plan in coordinating with the barangay local government unit or the Barangay Health Emergency Response Team in ensuring that protocols are observed properly. So kailangan po natin dito ng plan. Operationalization of the preventive alert system in schools for COVID-19. Meron po tayong DepEd order or DepEd memo number 15 series of 2020. The school has developed a strategy in orienting parents on health protocols. Meron po tayo dapat na safe drop off and pick up procedures. So picturean po natin yan at kailangan ng accomplishment report. Safety precautions and preventive measures while commuting. Safety precautions and measures upon entering the school premises. Ito na po ang super last part ng ating tool. School heads. Ilan po ang fully vaccinated male teaching personnel? Ilalagay po dyan. So magkakaroon po tayo dapat ng database of vaccinated school personnel. Ilan ang fully vaccinated female? Ilan ang first dose na male and female? Ilan ang fully vaccinated male and female non-teaching personnel? Ilan ang vaccinated, yung first dose pa lang, na male and female teaching personnel. So this should be reflected in your database of vaccinated school personnel. And actually, bilang tayo ay mga masisipag at caring na mga school heads, alamin na rin natin kung bakit, ano ang dahilan, why some of our teaching and non-teaching personnel ay hindi pa rin po nagpapabakuna until now. So alamin po natin at para ma-refer po natin sa ating school health and nutrition section. So ito po ang ating school safety assessment tool together with all the attachments mentioned shall be provided to you at wag po kayong malula. Mahaba lang po siyang tingnan pero actually yan po ay nasa mga school na natin. Nakita na po namin yan, na-monitor namin yan last time bago po mag-opening of classes. Ang kailangan lang po ay i-enhance yung ating mga poster, mga nakapost dyan sa bulletin board, ulitin dahil mga luma na, mga nagkupas na, yung ating mga pintura, ulitin lang po natin yan. And for any clarifications, the School Governance and Operations Division shall be happy to respond to your clarifications. Good day and God bless us all. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Daisy, for a very comprehensive presentation. Because of the epidemic, school systems all over the world have been forced to embrace distance learning modalities for basic education. But still, face-to-face classes are still necessity for education. Distance learning modes cannot totally replace the social side of learning where students can engage with their teachers and classmates. That is why the school assessment tool for safety face-to-face classes has been developed based on series of questions to assess this modality in terms of compliance with the regulation and its performance to effectively manage safety risk. Our next presenter is from the accounting section, our very own diligent and approachable accountantry of the SDO Palawan. Let's welcome Ma'am Chita D. Umali.
Ay, hello po. Good morning. Good morning po sa ating mga maaasahang head, kay Sir Roger Capa sa ating SDS, sa ating dalawang assistant, kay Sir Pintura and Sir Foss, at sa ating dalawang chief, kay Ma'am Padrones at kay Ma'am Marquez, at sa lahat po ng participants, magandang umaga po. Ito po ay mga reminders lang po, yung mga issues and concerns ng accounting. Reminder lang po kasi patapos na po yung ating taon. Ano po? So ito po yung issues and concern po doon sa mga checking account. Funds from DepEd Central Office, Regional Office, and School Division Office shall be deposited to the school checking account. Yun lang po ang pwedeng i-deposit sa ating mga checking account. Yung mga funds na galing ng Central, Region, and Schools Division Office. Ano po, hindi po tayo pwedeng mag-deposit sa ating mga checking account. Reminder lang po yun. School head may withdraw. Basis po natin, yung dati pa rin. So hindi ko na po pinalitan yan, yung mga reference. Key player, hindi ko na rin po pinalitan kasi same lang din po yun. Ito po yung recommendation agreement. School head should not withdraw amounts that will make the account balance lower than 500 pesos. Reminder lang po kaya paulit-ulit ako kasi baka mamaya mag-close account na naman po tayo. Bank charges and fees resulting from the account falling below this amount shall be paid by the school head from his or her personal account. Ayan po, marami na po mga school head ang nag-overdraft. Issue lang po na issue ng cheque. Hindi po sila nag-maintain ng kanilang cash book. So may mga school head na po tayo, mga nag-bounce na yung mga cheque. So reminder lang po sa iba, ano po, wag po tayong magbababa ng ating balance na 500. Interest income earned by the account, if any, also cannot be withdrawn. These shall be transferred by the bank to the BTR quarterly. Ano po? Cash disbursement register shall maintain by school head is supported with transaction and bank documents such as copy of the bank statement or the passbook. Ito po, so far kasi para pandemic po tayo, medyo nahihirapan po tayo mag-request sa bangko, so hindi pa po masyado namin ni-require. Pero next year po, i-require na po namin yung mga documents na isusupport po doon sa mga withdrawals natin sa bank. Ano po? So, yung agreement natin, 1 CDR for school MOE, 1 for each program fund. Ano po? So, isang CDR po doon sa regular MOE natin, isang CDR po doon sa mga SLMS natin, isang CDR po doon sa feeding natin in case sa download, isang CDR doon sa ating RBI, supposed to be ganun. Ano po? So, ang nangyari po ay sama-sama. Pero next time po, ihiwa-hiwalay na po natin. As di po ba sinabi ni Sir Kapa kanina, lagi po tayong mag-pay sa mga DepEd orders or memorandums. Ano po? So ito po, alam na rin natin, basis for the release of next cash advance, if CDR is more than 75%, pwede na pong makapag-request ng succeeding downloading. Ano po? Succeeding cash advance. Yan, monthly bank reconciliation statement shall be prepared by either the cluster school's bookkeeper or the school head. So far, parang wala pa pong nagsasubmit ng bank recon. Ano po, separate po yun ay sinasubmit, hindi po yun sinasama sa liquidation report. Ano po, kasi po yung bank recon po natin ay kasama po yung mga Xerox copy ng cheque. So dapat po yun, isi-separate po natin, separate din po ang submission natin sa COA ng mga bank reconciliation po natin, kasama yung mga attachment na documents, yung mga cheque po na in-issue natin. Ano po? Yan po ay yung agreement natin, submit monthly bank reconciliation to the accounting unit for the SDO validation and review. Ano po? So far, wala pa pong nagsasubmit kahit isa since nag-start tayo ng downloading. Ito lang po yung mga natin, mga reminders, yung interest income for GSB account quarterly on the first banking day following the previous quarter. Ito po nung nag-open po kayo ng checking account, di po ba may pinirmahan kayo na parang ino-authorize ninyo yung bangko at the end of the quarter yung interest income na ma-earn ng ating deposit, kung hindi po natin nagalaw, ay automatic po na ita-transfer nila sa Bureau of Treasury. Tapos itong unexpended cash advance, net of maintaining balance, fundings for outstanding checks issued, and net interest income, if any, as of December 31 of every year. So ito po yun for GSB and non-GSB annually on the first banking day of the succeeding year. Ano po yung timelines? On or before December 20 of the current year. So ito po, kaya maraming nagre-request kung may extension pa ba ang downloading. Nagbigay po kami ng deadline ng November 15. Ano po? So para yung November 15 po ay, kasi po sasubmit po kayo ng, kunyari po, sasubmit kayo ng November 16 or 18. So yung pag-process po ng inyong documents, ng inyong downloading, umiikot po yung papel. Ano po? So pagdating po ng December, baka po mailabas ang cash advance niyo December na po. So meron pong critical period, yung December 20, na dapat po ay ini-inform na natin yung bangko. Iba po yung sinubmit natin ng upon opening, yung quarterly interest, pero yung December 20 po, yun ang pinaka-delicate na time. Ano po? Para doon sa submission natin. Or ano po yun, yung note na isasubmit natin sa bangko kung anong form. Ito po yung Annex G. Ito po, ino-authorize natin yung bank na i-credit yung automatic transfer of interest income. Ito po yung upon opening. Ano po? Upon opening ng ating checking account. Tas ito pong isa, sige po. Next po. Ito naman pong isa na Annex G, ino-authorize po natin ang bangko at the end of the year, yung net of maintaining balance and outstanding checks, yung pong ino-authorize natin na i-transfer ng bangko sa Bureau of Treasury. Ano po bang sinasabi kong December 20? Kasi po, kailangan po natin mag-submit December 20, on or before December 20 ng authority sa bank na i-debit or credit ang account natin. Kung wala po tayong isa-submit yan, automatic po yan ay kukunin ng bangko lahat ng laman except yung 500 na balance po natin. Yung maintaining balance lang po natin ang maiiwan. Ano po? Next po. Medyo malabo po. Ano? So ito po, ensure the correct amount to be transferred to the BTR is indicated in the authority to debit credit. Ito po para maging tama po yung submission natin sa bangko kung ano po yung dapat na i-transfer lang sa BTR, kailangan po ay mag-maintain and update and complete record of check issued. Dapat po meron tayong record ng check issued. Must coordinate with the bank and obtain a bank statement and determine outstanding checks as of December 20. Pero ito po ay napaka-imposible. Unless na tayo po ay merong naka-enroll tayo sa We-Access. Ano po? So ang pag-compute po, yung paano natin i-compute na yung doon kanina sa previous slide natin. Paano po natin i-compute? Kunyari po ito, account balance. Ano po? Ito yung amount na dinownload sa inyo. Less total outstanding checks. Ano po ba yung outstanding checks? Katulad po nito, kung December na po ninyo ma-receive ang downloading, di po ba? Nakagawa kayo ng 10 cheque, then hindi nyo pa kaagad nabayaran si supplier. Pagdating po ng December 20, ay hindi pa rin po nai-incast ni supplier yung cheque. Kasi hindi lang po yan sa point ninyo as school head. Sa point din po yan ni supplier. Pag hindi pa rin po nila na-encash, dapat po ini-inform din natin ang bangko na siya ay outstanding checks na hindi pa pumapasok sa account ng school. Ano po? Kaya kailangan po, importante itong paghingi sa bangko ng bank statement or request na lang po kayo as school head ng snapshot bago po kayo magbigay ng authority sa bank na i-debit or i-credit yung account niyo. At wag din po nitong gagalawin yung 500 pesos maintaining balance. Yan po ang napaka-importante para hindi po mag-close ang account niyo. Tapos yung net po nun, yung account balance less outstanding checks less the 500, yun lang po dapat yung ilalagay niyong amount doon sa authority to debit account sa form sa Annex G na ibibigay po natin sa bangko. Ano po? Sana po malinaw kasi baka mamaya sasabihin ninyo ma'am, paano po ba ang gagawin dahil ano po ba ang gagawin dahil nawala po lahat yung balance ng aming bank balance. May babayaran pa po kami. Sana po hindi mangyari yon. So dapat po alam natin yung mga ini-issuehan natin. Ano po, karamihan po kasi talaga, ilang school na ang nag-report dito na nag-bounce yung mga cheque. Kasi simple lang naman po yung magbawas. Kumbaga yung magbarya-barya lang. May pera akong 100,000, magbabayad ako ng 50, di 50 ang may iwan. Yung ganun po, yung minus-minus lang naman po para ma-monitor ninyo yung balances. Pero wag niyo pong gagalawin yung 500 maintaining balance at yung interest income na may earn. Ano po? Ito po yung sinasabi ko, yung non-submission of the authority to debit or credit account shall subject the account to automatic sweeping. So automatic sweeping, ibig sabihin mawawala po lahat ang balanse except sa net maintaining balance. Kung hindi po natin na-inform ang bangko on or before December 20. On before December 20 po, wag naman po kayo mag-flex sa bangko ng December 20. Kasi minsan di po ba ang bangko yung mga teller doon mga suplada din minsan. Or minsan nawawala po nila yung mga documents natin. Di po ba? Yun po ang mga case dyan sa bangko na pag hindi nila na-action na agad, nawawala po yung mga documents. So pwede po kayo mag-submit sa bangko December 15 hanggang December 20. Wag lang po yung December 20 kasi napaka-critical na po yung December 20 at pag nawala pa po yan at nagsusungit pa yung mga teller ng bangko, ay baka po mag-bounce yung inyong mga cheque at magkaroon po ng service charge. Ano po? Ang service charge po ay kayo po, personal money po ninyo yan. Personal po na babawas sa inyong, kayo po ang magbabayad nun. Ano po? Malinaw po sana ha. Kaya ito po yung tinake up ko talaga. Tinake up ko na rin po ito sa mga bookkeeper. Dapat po may discuss na rin po sa inyo. Ano po? So ito po yung authority to transfer accountability for school funds. Ito po yung mga changes sa mga school head. I-emphasize ko lang po itong number 1. Dapat po ito remaining MOE funds for cash advance of the incoming head. Hindi po yung amount na i-claim, yung hindi pa po na-download. Dapat po ito yung hawak ni school head na ililipat sa inyo. Ano po? Kasi karamihan ang nilalagay po yung inaantay pang ida-download. Hindi po yun. Yun po yung amount dapat ng cash advance na hawak pa ni outgoing school head. Ano po, yun dapat po ang ilalagay. Tapos kung siya po ay may unliquidated, kunyari po yung total downloading ay hindi niya pa po unliquidated, yung total downloading niya po yung total unliquidated downloading po niya ang ilalagay dito sa number 2. Ano po? Kasi kaya nagbabalik-balik po ang pan dito. Kaya chine-check ko po ng maigi ito kasi parang hindi po tayo nagkakaintindihan. Pero next year po, hihingiin na rin po namin yung mga documents na naka-attach. Ngayon po kasi hindi namin hinihingi yung mga attachment yung mga attachment ano po. So next year po hihingi na kami ng attachment dito yung bank statement niyo, liquidation report, saka yung amount ng cash na i-turn over nyo sa incoming school head. Malinaw po ha? So yung isa po, ito po. Itong endorsement letter for the incoming school head, ito naman po kung endorsement po ito na magpapa-update po ng specimen signature ang incoming school head. Malinaw po. So itong dalawang form po ang kailangan ni bangko, endorsement, saka yung transfer of accountability, saka yung inyo pong special order. So tatlo po yan para makapag-update kayo ng specimen signature. Yan po. Yan lang po. Marami pong salamat. Okay na, sir.
Thank you so much to our accountant for the issues and updates. Huwag po nating kalilimutan ang mga reminders po ni accountant. So life is like accounting. Everything must be balanced. So at this point in time, let us hear from the administrative section their issues and concerns to be given to us by our very own, our dear Administrative Officer 5, Ma'am Isabelita A. Sampayan.
Hello po, good morning. Sige po, very quick lang po yung aking explanation, no? Bali marami po itong slides but I will only emphasize yung first 3 slides kasi po marami pong nagtatanong kung paano yung mga gagawin, yung mga transfer. Minsan po, please tell your teachers to direct their concerns, administrative concerns, sa link po, no? Marami pong tumatawag kay Sir Roger sa ating mga ASDS, hindi na po nila yun concern. Na waste po yung time nila to answer concerns which should have been directed right away sa people concerned para po ma-address lahat, no? Andi dito po yung link. Doon po sa link, please list it down. Nandito po sa screen para po lahat ng concerns ng administrative services, dito nyo po ibabato para po ma-address ka agad. We really discourage people coming to office kasi po ay because of the threat of the virus and even the division office personnel are having it, so we cannot avoid that. So para po hindi na po kumalat masyado yung virus sa amin din at sa protection din po ng nasa field, lahat po ng transactions na pwedeng gawin online, doon na lang po, no? So, nandiyan naman po, pagka clinic nyo po yung aming link na yan, nandoon po lahat ng instructions. So, yung next slide, please. So, yan po yung mga very important details na maibibigay muna bago po namin ma-actionan. Like doon po sa mga meron po kasi tayo mga na-issuehan na all the notice of assignment. Ang kailangan po ng bangko ngayon ay yung mga bagong assignment na signed by our beloved SDS Kappa. So, ina-update po natin yung lahat. Ginagawan po natin sila ng panibagong order para ma-process yung checking account application nila sa Land Bank. So yun lang po, no? Hindi ko na po papakahabain. Naka-display po lahat dyan, yung frequently asked questions. Nandiyan dyan po sa link. And please access it And then again, I emphasize please limit the visitations of our field personnel sa division office for protection na rin po ng everybody. Thank you so much and good morning.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Bingbong, for the very informative talk and updates on admin matters.
Education is the first step for people to gain the knowledge, critical thinking, empowerment, and skills they need to make this world a better place. To give us updates, issues, and concerns on the curriculum, the Chief Education Supervisor of Curriculum Implementation Division, Ma'am Aurelia B. Marquez.
Magandang tanghali po sa ating lahat. So, especially to our Schools Division Superintendent, Sir Roger F. Capa, Cecil 6, to our 2 AES DSS, Sir Pines Pos, and Sir Arnie Ventura, sa ating AO, sa lahat ng unit heads, and to all the participants, isang magandang tanghali po. So these are the issues and concerns of the Curriculum Implementation Division. For the alternative learning system, we have here the creation of the Bureau of Alternative Education in the DepEd. So the DepEd Order number 47, Series 2021, dated November 11, 2021 is the legal basis. So the key player will be the DepEd officials, of course, the ALS implementers, and the focal person, the EPS Pedro Dandal Jr. Our recommendation is for that the EPSS, the PSDSS, the EPSAS for ALS, the facilitators should take advanced preparation. We have the second concern for ALS, which is the conduct of the 5th Regional ALS Tagis Galing on November 17. That will be tomorrow. We have our bases here, the Regional Memo number 128, Series of 2021. So the EPSAs and the ALS focal persons, the DALSIS and the mobile teachers and learners, and of course, Mr. Dandal are the key players. For the recommendation, all PSDSS are requested to support the said activity. Next po. Okay, for Araling Panlipunan, so the concern is for the submission of the first and second quarter RBI scripts from grades 1 to 10. We have a memorandum for that effect, and this is for the Project Rise AP. The key players, the Araling Panlipunan teachers, the script writers, and the EPS. Recommendation, our AP coordinators kindly follow up from the script writers, the outputs that are needed. For MAPE, we have the special program in the arts activities for 2021. We have the DepEd Memorandum, OUCI 2021-492, which is the legal basis. Of course, the vocal persons and the teachers are the key players. So teachers, please be ready. That is the recommendation. Hindi raw nakikita yung aking presentation, sabi ni Ma'am Heidi. Sir Eric. Okay, the next
Ma'am,
is...
nakikita po, ma'am. Nakikita po.
Thank you
Hello,
so much.
Ma'am.
Opo.
Clear po ang presentation niyo, ma'am. Baka po may problem doon sa signal ni Ma'am Heidi. Thank you po.
Hello po, Ma'am Au.
Okay, so nawalan daw po ng power dun sa Astoria. Unahin po muna natin siguro ang ating next presenter.
This time, we will hear an issues, updates, and concerns from the School Governance and Operations Division to be given to us by the Chief Education Supervisor, Ma'am Felina P. Padrones.
Magandang tanghali po sa lahat. So, habang piniprepare, ay, okay na po yung slides ko, no? We only have 3 units po sa ating na nagbigay ng concern kasi mayroon naman ibang activities na kung saan ay nakaka-present din yung mga concerns ng units ng SGOD. Sir Eric. First, yung as introduced by from the School Health Nutrition section, we have our new medical officer, si Dr. Lois Tablason Clavicillas. So ito po yung second day niya po, kahapon po siya na install po sa ating office. Sir Eric, yung ayaw magano. Lipat lang po ako sa mga.
Yung signal natin.
Medyo kwan lang po, may signal siguro talaga, no? Ayaw magano. Okay. So from the School Health Nutrition section, first concern is the SBFP administrative cost of the school during implementation. So the key players here are the school health personnel, the accountant, bookkeeper, school head, feeding coordinators, and deadline is December 15, 2021. Recommendation or remarks. Requirements for downloading. 1 annual procurement plan, request for cash advance. Fund will be utilized for supplies, materials, and travel during SBFP implementation. The details of this will be discussed by Ma'am Umali, maybe through the bookkeepers. Next is the distribution of SDHCP healthcare supplies for kinder to grade 6 pupils. The key persons here are our medical team, then the school heads, teachers, parents. Deadline will be on November 30, 2021. The submission of SDHCP distribution report to assigned dentist in your respective districts. So yun po yung na-distribute na mga materials for the dental care. Yun po ang hinihingi po dito na dapat ma-submit November 30, 2021. Submission of consolidated reports on the status of vaccination. Who are concerned, our medical team, the PSDSS, the school head, teaching and non-teaching personnel. Deadline, every 10th day of the month. The agreements, regular submission of updated vaccination status to your respective nurses. So, tandaan po, every 10th day of the month. Next, COVID-19 active cases. Please see attached file report on the number of active cases per municipality. Pe-present po namin ito para po aware po ang lahat, lalo na po sa mga nagbabiyahe yung saan po kailangan magkaroon ng extra care sa sarili mismo. Now, key players, yung ating mga medical team, then the personnel affected by COVID-19. Submission of Form Annex C. Now here, these are the active confirmed cases of COVID-19 cases as of November 12. Yung source po nito ay yung from the RHU of the municipalities through our district nurses. Now you can see here that the district or the municipality which has a big number of cases is El Nido. Ito po 154, followed by Quezon 123, then Agutaya 116, Brooks Point, Taytay 114, then Brooks Point 102, and Soprano Hispaniola 101. So as to the DepEd personnel, ito po yung existing po. Sa Aborlan, mayroon tayo. Ito sa DepEd personnel, it involves teaching and non-teaching. Aborlan, may isa tayo. Batarasa, we have 2. Quezon, may 10. Coron, may isa. Then, Culion, may 2. Taytay, 2. And here at the SDO, we have 14 cases. So yun nga pang inuulit-ulit kanina ng ating admin na kung pwede, kung hindi rin na huwag na munang pumunta ng division. Kung pwedeng online po yung ating transaction, online po. Kasi dito sa division, nagkakasakit din po kami ng COVID. Ano po? Sige pa. Then, from the SUKMOB, we have the one on here is the Brigada Eskwela Best Implementing Schools Award. So ito po yung involved ito, yung ating district BA coordinators, PSDSS, district nurses. Recommendation, orientation on the criteria for BE Best Implementing Schools via FB live next week. So contact po with our SEPs in Sukmo. Then district Anapa School or Brigada Eskwela coordinators. Ito po, please register through. Ito po, paki-picture nyo na lang po yung ating link po dito na binigay. Ano po? That is about Anapa School. Then, still from the SUKMOB, advisory on national economic development and policy formation for principals is scheduled on November 17 to 19, is sponsored by City Savings. So, kindly coordinate with SEPs, Mylene Dilig through Messenger. Next issue from our school-based management submission of high-quality photos from SBM level 2 and 3 schools and SBM best implementers in the district. Ito po ay yung napagmitingan po last week, kung maalala po ninyo. Nandoon po na ang list lahat po ng hinihingi po kailangan sa ating awarding. So, yun ang ating agreement last meeting, di ba? So, key players, the school heads, yung mga SBM levels 2 and 3, at saka yung best SBM implementing schools in the district. District SBM coordinators, PSDSS, then yung SBM Summit TWG. Recommendation, please submit on or before November 19, 2021 through a Google Drive link to be submitted to Miss Phoebe Libuon at Phoebe. Ito po, paki-picture po. Ito po yung ating pictures po. I-remind lang po na dapat ay ilagay ng ating SPM coordinator sa isang folder at isasabi po. Ito po yung link. Okay po. Development for another 3-year cycle. So ito pa, another preparation ng ating SIP. So basahin niyo po, balik po kayo sa ating DO44 series of 2015. Basahin po natin uli yung crafting ng SIP para ma-refresh po tayo. Key players po, school heads, school SPT. Then, recommendation, a division reorientation shall be conducted on November 24. That will be on Monday. The mission memo shall be issued later. Reminder on the preparation of SRC and reporting to stakeholders through different means. Guided din po tayo dapat ng DO44 Series 2015. So, sinong involved? School heads, yung SPT, then every month of October 2021, yung mid-year, then ito po yung SAED. Recommendation, please utilize the ESRC template that can be downloaded. Ito rin po yung ating link. So, importante po ito. Kailangan po ito doon sa inyong SBM level na dapat ay nagre-report po tayo sa ating stakeholders. That's all. Thank you and God bless everyone.
Thank you so much to our dear Chief of the SGOD, Ma'am Feling, for a very circumstantial presentation. At this point in time, Let us welcome back our Chief Education Supervisor, Ma'am Al Marquez.
Let's welcome back our CID Chief, Ma'am Aurelia B. Marquez, for the updates, issues, and concerns of the Curriculum Implementation Division.
Hello, good morning. Sorry for the technology glitches. Nung okay na sana ako, hindi naman ako na-unmute, kaya pasensya lang po. So, nandiyan pa ba tayo? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so please take time to listen for a while. So my next concern is from the subject MAPE. The concern here is the training on co-daily music. The legal basis, a regional memorandum, the key players, the MAPE coordinator, teachers, and the supervisor designated for MAPE. Recommendation, teacher participants are advised to please prepare. Next po. So these are the teachers who will participate in the said training. We have Mary Joy Dadule, of course the APS, Mr. Dandal, Ms. Evelyn Cabahog, Mr. Ferdinand Mendoza. Patingin na lang po kung anong school sila. Ms. Nessie Castro, Ms. Marian Gonzalez, Mr. Argel Tabang, Mr. Lito Lan, Ray Fernand Cabaylo, Wilson Alagabia, Melita S. Omolon, John Paul Fabregas, Manuel D. Leonor, Nestor B. Mendoza, Franz Hill Valdez Tamon, Romel Castañeda, Emil Parangue, Ray Castro, Rodelyn Azares, Deline Gatchalian, and Romil Hanuras. Kindly check kung anong school po sila. Maaring nasa inyo yan. Okay? So next slide, please. This is about the Arabic language and Islamic values education program. Just sharing that there was a write-up conducted anchored on Division Memorandum 398. The concerned people, of course, are the Alive Coordinator, the ASATIDs, and the focal person, Mr. Di Malinaw. So the agreement here is submission of the output or the copy of the output.
Hello, Ma'am Au. Nawala po ulit.
Okay, balikan po natin si Ma'am Au. Baka nagkaroon po ulit ng problema sa internet connection. At this point in time, please join me in welcoming our invited speaker from the Philippine Overseas Employment Administration, or the POEA, Sir Jonathan Herodias, Coordinator of POEA, RSO Palawan. For a while? All right, welcome po, Sir Jonathan Herodias, our coordinator from POEA. Good morning, sir.
Paki-unmute daw siya.
Ayun na, ikaw na, ma'am.
Hello?
Ano po yung pangalan?
Okay na, na-unmute na.
Ato na, ma'am.
Bakit overseas na to? Hello?
Hello, good afternoon, ma'am.
Sino na bang presenter?
Good afternoon po.
John, hintay na lang natin matapos si Ma'am Au, please.
Ano
Yes, ma'am.
yun?
Okay po. Okay, ma'am. Sige po.
Balikan po namin kay Sir Jonathan. Let's welcome
Sige,
back,
ma'am.
Ma'am Au.
Okay po.
Ay, na po. Sige po.
Ang gulo. Slide na naman na siya. Slide na naman sa
Okay na ba? Next slide po.
Okay na po, ma'am.
Next. Tapos na po yan. Next na po. Okay, sige. Oh, bakit nalampasan na yung MTB MLE po? Sorry. Pabalik po doon sa MTB MLE. Yan. Thank you. Klaro na ba ako? Right. Really
Clear na po,
takes... Okay, sige. Salamat po. So, for MTB MLE, we have here the online finalization of Kuyunon Primer, which is the teacher's guide and the learner's material. We have here a division memorandum as our legal basis. The key players are the MTB MLE in charge, the reviewers, writers, illustrator, EPS, Mr. Di Malinaw. So the activity is still ongoing. Next po. For mathematics, the crafting of RBI scripts. This is anchored on division memo number 407. The key player, the teacher writers, and the EPS, Ma'am Astrid Agbanlog. A recommendation to finish the required scripts within the given time frame. Next is the workshop on the development of competency-based division unified assessment for grades 3 to 10. So we are still waiting for the approval of the division memo. With the focal person here, our EPS in math, Ma'am Astrid, and the teacher writers. So recommendation, all concerned are requested to support the said activity. Next po. Still on mathematics. This is the online training for elementary and high school science and mathematics with ages 56 to 65 on November 25 to 26, 2021. So pwede pa yung edad na 65 mag-attend ng training. So the legal basis is the advisory dated November 15, 2021. The key players are 6 math elementary secondary teachers with ages 56 to 65. Recommendation, PSDSL should recommend the names not later than November 17. Hanggang bukas na lang po. Next is the quarterly math report in Kumustahan. This is based on the regional memo number 13, series 2021. Of course, the key player, the math focal person. Recommendation, submission of Kumustahan report is due a week before the end of every quarter. Next po. For science, there is an invitation to participate in the National STEM-B program in partnership with the Philippine American Academy of Science and Engineering, the PAASE, and Unilab Foundation Incorporated. Okay, the legal basis is the Memorandum DMOU CI 2021-519. The key players, 10 grade 7 STE learners, and the registration will be until today, November 16, 2021. Recommendation, the pilot run will start with an orientation on November 17, 2021 and will involve weekly and monthly online challenges, culminating towards the National STEM B Finals on July 2022. Next is still on science, online training for elementary and high school science and math ages 56 to 65. Katulad din ng sa math kanina on November 25 to 26. And this is based from the regional advisory dated November 15. The key players are the elementary and secondary teachers. So recommendation, 6 science teachers will be recommended by the selected PSDSS until November 18. Next, please. Okay, for LRMS, so there is an ongoing division workshop on the development of RBI scripts and production of ready-to-use RBI lesson episodes. This is based from the Division Memorandum number 407, Series 2021. The key players are the EPSS, education program specialists, principals, master teachers, and key teachers. That is from November 15 up to 20 at Astoria, Palawan. Our recommendation is at the end of the workshop, the quarter 2 ready-to-use RBI lesson episodes in Science, Math, English, Filipino, Araling Panlipunan, Kindergarten will be available for downloading at DepEd Palawan website, LRMDS section, and Palawan LRMS FB page. Still on, okay, so still on LRMS, this is the list of available learning resources for quarter 2. So my dear school heads, please take note and advise your teachers to be very vigilant in opening the link or the website for the availability of the LRs for quarter 2. For kindergarten, we have weeks 1 to 10 coming from the central office. And from the SDO, we have week 1 to 4. For mother tongue grade 1, modules 1 to 10 is provided by the central office. Modules 1 to 7, modules 1 to 3 for grade 3 is from the central office also. For Araling Panlipunan, grades 1 to 10. For grade 1, modules 1 to 7 is from the CO. Grade 2 from module 1 to 7 also from the CO. For grade 3, modules 1 to 8 is from regional office. For grade 4, modules 1 to 5 is from the central office. And also from grade 6, we have modules 1, 2, and 4 from the central office. Grade 7, modules 1 to 5 from the CO. Araling Panlipunan 8, modules 1 to 6 from CO also. Araling Panlipunan 9, modules 1 to 5 from the CO, as well as Araling Panlipunan 10, modules 1 to 4 from the central office. Next po. For Filipino, grade 1, okay, from modules 1 to 16, that is from the central office. Filipino 2, modules 1 to 9, central office. Filipino 3, modules 1 to 8. The same is true with Filipino 4, modules 1 to 8, both from central office. For grade 6, Modules 1 to 14, that is from central office. Filipino grade 7. Modules 1 to 4, SDO initiated. Filipino 9. Modules 1 to 8 from the CO. And Filipino 10, modules 1 to 4, 6, and 7 from central office. We now come to the ESP 1. Modules 1 to 4 from central office. ESP 2 and modules 1 to 5, central office. ESP 3, modules 1 to 4 from central office. ESP 5, modules 2 to 7, central office. ESP 6, modules 1 to 4 from central office also. ESP 7, modules 1 to 5, central office. And for grade 8, we have modules 1 to 8, SDO initiated. For grade 9, modules 1 to 4 is from the CO, 5 to 6 is from SDO. ASP 10, modules 1 to 8 from the central office. Next po. For English 2, from modules 1 to 8, that's coming from the CO. The same is true with English 3, modules 1 to 8 from central office. Modules 1 to 7 of English 4 is also from the CO. For grade 5 English, we have modules 1 to 4, then modules 2, 3, and from language 1 to 3, we have from the central office. For grade 6 and grade 7, from modules 1 to 3, that's from the CO. For grade 8, modules 1 to 5 from the CO, English 9, and English 10, modules 1 to 8 are from the central office. Now we come to mathematics, mathematics grade 1. Okay. Coming from the central office are modules 1 to 8, and then we have modules 2A, B, then modules 4A, that's B, modules 6A and B, that's all from central office. For mathematics 2, from the central office also modules 1 to 11. Whereas for math 3, we have modules 1 to 17. These are all SDO initiated. For math 4, modules 1 to 10 are from central office. From the regional office, we have the math storyboard and SILAC. For math 5, we have from the central office of the modules 1 to 19. From the RO, we also have the math storyboard and SILAC. For math 6, we have from the CO, which are the modules 1 to 14, together with the provision of the regional office, which are the math storyboard and SILAC. Mathematics 7, modules 1 to 9, that's from the central office. Math 8, we have modules 1 to 14, also from the CO. Math 9, modules 1 to 10 from the CO also. Next, please. Next po. Okay, so we now come to music. For music 1, we have modules 1 to 5 from CO. Music 2, modules 1 to 4 from CO. Music 3, from the CO, modules 1 to 6. The same is true with music 4. For music 5, we have from the CO, modules 1, 2, 5, 7, and 8. For grade 6, we have modules 1 to 3 from the CO. Kaparehas din ang music 8, which is modules 1 to 3. Wala po yung music 9. Music 10, we have modules 1 to 2 from the CO. Arts 1, modules 1 to 4 from the central office. Arts 2, modules 1 to 5 also from the CO. Arts 3, we have modules 1 to 8 from the CO, and Arts 4, modules 1 to 5. For Arts 5, we have modules 1 to 4 to 6 from the CO. Arts 6, modules 1 to 9. Arts 7, modules 1 to 8. Arts 8, modules 1, 3, 4, 6, and these are all from the central office. For PE1, PE1 to 8, we have here from the central office, which are for grade 1, modules 1 to 2, grade 2, modules 1 to 2. PE3, modules 1 to 4, PE4, modules 1 to 4. 5 and 6, modules 1 and 2 only. PE7, modules 1 to 3, and PE8, modules 1 to 2. Wala na naman physical education 9. For PE10, we have modules 1 to 2. Now we come to health. For the health 1 to 10, they are all from the central office. So let's come to grade 1. Modules 1 to 4 and 5. Grade 2, modules 1 to 3, and then modules 1.1 to 4. Health 3, modules 1 to 5. 4, modules 1 to 5. 5, modules 1 to 7. 6, modules 1 to 5. 7, modules 1 to 6. Health 8, modules 1 to 13. Blanco yung 9. And health 10, modules 1 to 4. Okay, next po. Science 3. Modules 1 to 7 are from the school's division office. Science 4 from the CO. 5, 6, 7, and 8 are from the CO with the modules 1 to 8 sa 4, modules 1 to 7 sa 5, 1 to 7 sa 6, module 1 only for 7, and for grade 8, modules 1 to 5. For Science 9, this is SDO initiated, modules 1 to 5. Science 10 from the CO is modules 1 to 5. For research 1 to 3, these are all from the school's division office. For research 1, we have module 1, research 2, modules 1 to 5, and research 3, modules 1 to 2. Let's proceed to HGP, Kinder. So these are all SDO initiated, as you can see. For Kinder, we have modules 1 to 6, grade 1, 1 to 4, grade 2, 1 to 3, grade 3, 1 to 4, grade 4, modules 2 to 3, grade 5, modules 1 to 2, grade 6, modules 1 to 2, and 7 and 10, modules 1 to 4. So for agri-crop, this is already for the senior high school. We have from the central office. Then we have modules 1 to 2 for agri-crop. Barbering, we have modules 1, and then L1 to 7. Cookery, we have module 1, L1 to 4. Hairdressing, module 1, L1 to 2. Housekeeping, module 1 to 2. For TLE, we have SDO initiated for beauty and nail care. which are modules 1 to 4. For TLE 10, BPP, we have modules 1 to 4. For agri-crop production, these are SDO initiated. We have modules 1 to 3, carpentry, modules 1 to 5, housekeeping, modules 1 to 4. Senior high school AFA, LIM, modules 1 to 3, bartending, modules 1 to 3, bookkeeping, modules 1 to 3. Bread and pastry, we have modules 1 to 4. Caregiving, modules 1 to 3. Carpentry, module 5. Cookery, we have modules 1 to 3. And EIM, modules 1 to 4, all SDO initiated. For the for the 21st century literature, we have from the CO, which are the modules 1 to 4. Pansariling kaunlaran, modules 7 to 11. Physical science, modules 1 to 17. Understanding culture, society, and politics, modules 1 to 6. Earth and life science, we have SDO initiated, modules 1 to 7. For earth science STEM, central office, we have modules 1 to 13. Komunikasyon at pananaliksik, we have from the central office modules 1 to 16. General math, modules 1 to 20 from CO. Practical research 2, we have SDO initiated, modules 1 to 8. DRR 12, we have modules 1 to 8 from the CO. DRR, we have modules 1 to 19 from the CO. Personality development, we have modules 1, 3, 5 to 15 from the CO. And from the schools division office, we have grade 12 general physics, modules 1 to 3, 5 to 8. Senior high school biology 1, we have modules 1 to 5, which are SDO initiated. For general chem 1, we have modules 1 to 4, also SDO initiated. Homeroom guidance program, modules 1 to 4, SDO initiated. And pre-calculus, modules 1 to 9, SDO initiated. Next po. For the SPED, these are the concerns for the SPED. There is a regional online training on educational leadership, on the implementation of inclusive education and special education in the K-12 basic education program. And this is based from the regional memorandum, and that will be on November 17 to 19. Bukas na po yun. Recommendation, all the 35 PSDSS and selected school heads are to attend the activity. Next is the Division Online K-12 training on transition curriculum for learning with disabilities. Okay, from the basis is Department Memorandum number 416 series 2021, and this will be on November 22 to 24, 2021. Next po. Next, concern is about the administration of MFAT for grade 1 learners. This is based on the division memorandum, and this will be on December 2021. And the recommendation is MFAT shall be conducted after the regional orientation. Next concern is all the recipients of the 2021 SPED PSF are advised to submit status report on the utilization of the fund. And this will be on November 17, 2021. Next po. For English, the conduct of division orientation and rapid reading assessment based on the division memorandum, So everyone is advised to please download the rapid reading guidelines, which was uploaded in the MOB group chat for advanced reading and preparation of materials. Then expressing our heartfelt gratitude to the school heads for their English teachers who creatively developed the fairy tales on November 5 to 8, 2021. Of course, the basis is a division memorandum. And the key players are the selected English and kindergarten teachers. Next po. Next, please. All right. For EPP, TLE, TBL, so the concern is participation of the school's division of Palawan to the National Festival of Talents, or the NPOT 2021. So this is based from the Department Memorandum 410, Series 2021, and the unnumbered regional memo dated November 2, 2021, and DMOU CI 2021-442 entitled Online National Festival of Talents Guidelines. So the key players are the Division Technical Working Group and the District NFOT participants. So the recommendation, the remarks, sincere appreciation and gratitude to the District of San Vicente and the participation of the School of Balimangwan National High School for the support. Thank you, San Vicente. Next po. Still on the senior high school TBL, the participation of the Division of Palawan for the implementation of the Joint Delivery Voucher Program, or the JDVP for senior high school TBL for school year 2021-2022. This is based on the DMOU CI 2021-444. So the key players, grade 12 students, JDBP school coordinator, school heads of the following schools: Karuray National High School, Dumaran Mainland National High School, Aramaywan National High School in Nara, and Batarasa National High School. So the recommendation, the remarks, strict compliance on the requirements of the program. Next po. For Filipino, the first is paglahok sa pambansang balagtasan, ikasyam na diwang sa gisag kultura ng Pilipinas. This is based from the Regional Advisory and Division Memorandum. The key players are the Andres Soriano Memorial Elementary School teachers. So, remarks, follow up, wait for the announcement of winners. Next is pagkilala kay Precious Alia Espacio, kampiyon sa pambansang tagisan sa pagsulat ng tula. This is based from the National Memorandum. The key player, the student teacher coach, school head from New Ginlo National High School. Remarks, follow up the cash prize award to be downloaded to SDO Palawan. Congratulations, New Ginlo National High School. Okay, we now come to journalism. There was a recently concluded division online capacity building for school paper advisors in the new normal. This is based from the division memorandum, which was done last November 10 to 12, 2021. The key players, school paper advisors, school heads, PSDSS, CID chief, journalism focal persons. The agreement, there will be a planning for online DSPC next year. Next po. So these are the schools that participated in the online capacity building for school paper advisors. We have Aborlan North, Aborlan South, Aborlan West, Agutaya, Araceli, Balabac, Batarasa, 1 and 2, Busuanga, Cagancillo, Coron Coastal, Coron Inland, Culyon, Cuyo, Dumaran Mainland, Dumaran Island, El Nido del Norte, El Nido del Sur, Linapacan, Nara del Norte, Nara del Sur, North Brooks Point, Quezon North, Quezon South, Rizal, Rojas Central, Rojas North, Rojas South, San Vicente, Soproño Española, South Brooks Point, Taytay 1, 2, 3. Nandiyan na po yung number ng participants both from elementary and secondary. So we had a brief survey on the readiness of districts for the face-to-face. Let me just share to you very briefly. Next slide po. So of the 11 districts that were able to share, Borland North, there are already teaching personnel, 67% of the teaching personnel that have been vaccinated. School grounds not ready, remarks not ready. So kung titingnan natin dito, karamihan ay not ready. Borland South, West, Agutaya, Araceli, Balabac, Bataraza 1 and 2, Busuanga, Brooks Point North, Brooks Point South, pero mataas na ng konti ang percentage ng Batarasa doon sa vaccinated na personnel. Okay? So walang sagot ng Cagayan Silio at Coron Coastal. For Coron inland, there is already 91% of teaching personnel vaccinated. Okay? So ang sabi ng Coron Inland, they are already somewhat ready kung magkaroon ng face-to-face. Sa Cuyo, not ready. Dumaran Mainland, wala. El Nido del Norte, wala. So, isa lang nandito nakikita kong somewhat ready ang Linapacan. 95% na ang kanilang vaccinated na teaching personnel. All the rest, hindi ready ang ating mga schools and districts. Okay? So, meron pa ba? Pasilip nga ng next slide. Next po. Okay. So, ito yung consolidated na comment from our group of PSDSS. Though teachers wanted to have face-to-face classes because of so many reasons, but not all teaching and non-teaching personnel were vaccinated. Vaccination for 12 to 17 years old have just started last week. During PTA meetings, some parents were asked if they are willing to be vaccinated, and their response is negative. Should all junior high school students get vaccinated, they might be ready. Needs budget to install cubicles for the chairs of learners, and retrofitting of classroom for face-to-face is necessary. So yan lang po ang nasabi ng ating mga PSDSS. Thank you so much, Dr. Edna, as the president of the group of PSDSS. And that's all for the Curriculum Implementation Division. Maraming salamat, and God bless everyone.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Al, for a very comprehensive presentation, despite of the glitches in our internet connection. We imagine a school system that recognizes learning is natural, that love of learning is normal, and that real learning is a passionate learning. At this point in time, let us welcome our invited speaker from POEA. Let's welcome back again, Sir Jonathan Herodias. Good morning, sir.
Good afternoon po.
Good afternoon
Hello?
po.
Good afternoon po. Good afternoon po kay SDS Roger Capa, kay Ma'am Bingbong Sampayan po, sa aking classmate po, and kila Ma'am Padrones at kay Sir Eric Kelly po, at sa lahat po ng kasama ko ngayon sa Mancom. Jonathan Herodias po, POEA Regional Satellite Office, Palawan. Hello?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Naririnig niyo po?
Yes po, clear po.
Yes po. Discuss ko lang po bakit ho kailangan ko i-discuss ang illegal recruitment po, or anti-illegal recruitment and trafficking in person. Currently po, rampant po ang illegal recruitment and human trafficking po dito sa atin sa Palawan. So, paano po ma-identify ang mga illegal recruiters po? Hindi lang po porket meron silang license o recruitment agency po ay pwede na po sila mag-recruit dito sa Palawan. Hindi po ganun yun. So, isa-isahin ko lang po ang mga reminders to avoid illegal recruitment. Considering po ang mga teachers po natin ay ang nasa ground po. So, mas madali po nila ma-identify yung mga possible na recruiters po sa lugar nila. At makakatulong din po ng POA pag huli dito sa mga illegal recruiters po na nambibiktima ho ng mga kababayan natin dito sa Palawan. Anyway, number 1 po, apply only with licensed recruitment agencies. Do not apply with consultancy firms, training centers, travel agencies, and foundations that promise jobs abroad. Okay, dapat po sa mga licensed recruitment agencies lang po mag-apply. Dito po sa Palawan o dito sa Puerto Princesa, ang dami po naglipanan ng mga training centers po for Korea. So ito po yung mga training centers lang po. Hindi po sila recruitment agency po. Ang magagawa lang po nila ay mag-conduct ng training pero hindi po guarantee na makakaalis sila. Around 2 years ago po, out of around 35,000 applicants po for Korea, 35 to 50,000 for Korea, 500 lang po ang nakalusot. So, out of that figure, talagang mahigpit po talagang tedious po yung pag-apply ho dyan sa Korean work na yan. Number 2, check with POEA whether the position you are applying for has an approved job order. Okay po. First, licensed recruitment agency po dapat ang applyan. Second po, dapat meron hong approved job order. Ano po yon? Pag isa pong applicant ay isang nurse po, nag-apply ho siya sa isang licensed recruitment agency, dapat po may job order po silang para sa nurse. Kung wala po nun, hindi po sila pwede mag-hire. Lalabas po yun, again, illegal recruitment po conducted by a licensed recruitment agency. Ulitin ko po, illegal recruitment po yun conducted by a licensed recruitment agency. Ibig sabihin ho, kahit licensed recruitment agency po ay kalimitan din po nagko-conduct na illegal recruitment through illegal activities po. Number 3, transact only with authorized representatives of a licensed agency. Ito po, marami hong scenarios dito na palalabasin ho nila representative sila ng licensed recruitment agency pero hindi po pala. Magpapakita pong ID sila pero kailangan ho i-validate ito sa agency kung talagang representative sila. At dapat po, recruitment officer po ang nakalagay po sa ID nila at hindi po liaison officer or any other item po. Transact business only at the registered address of the agency. Kung may mga nababalitaan po kayo, nagre-recruit yan sa lugar nyo na wala hong coordination sa barangay o sa municipal peso, paki-report po kagad kasi that is illegal recruitment na po. Kahit magpakita po sila ng SEC registration o ID na under sila ng licensed recruitment agency without conducting business at the peso office or without a special recruitment authority po, illegal recruitment po ang ginagawa nila. Again po, dapat po licensed recruitment agency po. Second, dapat po may approved job order po. And third, to be able to conduct a recruitment activity, they should have a special recruitment authority po para ho mag-conduct sila ng recruitment activity sa isang lugar. Panglima po, pay only allowed placement fee. It should be equivalent to 1 month's salary except in cases where charging of fees such is prohibited. Ang placement fee po ay binabayaran lang ho ng mga professionals. Ang mga household service worker po natin o domestic helpers ay hindi po kailangan magbayad ng placement fee. Pay the placement fee only after you have read and signed an employment contract, demand an official receipt reflecting the actual amount paid and purpose for which it was made. Dapat ho, meron hong official receipt kung nagbayad po ng placement fee, maging professional applicant po to or domestic helper o household service worker. Be wary of job offers through the internet that require applicants to immediately remit payment for intended visa, airfare, and processing costs. Again po, iwasan po natin yung mga nakapost po sa social media. Ito pa, remind na rin lang po yung mga kamag-anak nyo, kaibigan nyo po, na iwasan ho magtingin po sa social media ng mga work job offers po kasi marami po, nagdipa na ho talaga ang scammers po kung tawagin natin sa social media. Number 8, be wary of ads or brochures requiring you to reply and close payment for application forms and processing of papers. Again, simple lang po, iwasan po yung entertain yung mga ads o brochures o pakipag-usap sa mga tao po na nangihingi po kagad ng payment for application. Number 9, make sure that you have appropriate work visa permit. Be wary of job offers using tourist or visit visas. Ito po, ang usually nangyayari po, yung mga nag-a-apply ho ng trabaho sa abroad, nagtuturist po muna doon, then maghahanap po ng trabaho doon. Marami hong kababayan natin na bibiktima ho niya na pagdating ho doon, iba na ho ang nakalagay ho sa contract nila. Pagdating ho doon, sasabihin tourist muna. Ito ang ilalagay sa kontrata mo pagdating doon. Pagdating ho doon, mag-iiba na ho ang nakalagay sa kontrata. So hindi na ho makatanggi ang isang worker po. Bakit to? Dala na rin ho ng kahiyan, syempre, dito sa atin sa Pilipinas, bago ho makaalis ang isang aplikante, naibalita na ho sa buong barangay na siya ho mag-a-abroad. So sa dala na rin ng kahiyan, hindi na rin ho siya babalik kagad ng Pilipinas dahil kahit ho nahirapan siya doon dahil sa naging kontrata niya po doon. So iwasan po natin yan. And lastly, transact directly with government offices and personnel. Never deal with fixers po. Again, iwasan po natin ang fixers at direct. Kung may mga inquiries po kayo tungkol sa licensed recruitment agencies, job offers abroad, kung meron ng conduct ng recruitment activity po dyan sa lugar, pwede ho kayo makipag-unayan dito po sa aming opisina sa POE Regional Satellite Office po sa Burgos Street, malapit po sa Cooperative Hospital. Bakit ho namin pinaigting ang paglaban po sa illegal recruitment o human trafficking? Para ho sa kaalaman ng lahat, ang pinakabatang biktima ho ng ng human trafficking ay 12 years old po. Ang mga natatraffic po na biktima ng illegal recruitment or human trafficking na napupunta ho sa prostitution din ay around 5 to 7,000 po na rape. And maximum age lang po nila inaabot ho ng 30 plus, around 35 years old. So hindi po biro ang human trafficking po. It is the third world's largest illegal organization po. So, akala po natin na simple lang po ang illegal recruitment, human trafficking. Sabihin ho natin na hindi naman ho related sa trabaho natin pag minsan po. Siguro sa ganitong paraan po, maipapaabot nyo po sa mga kakilala, kaibigan, kamag-anak o pagdating ho, kapatid nyo mag-a-apply o kakilala nyo o asawa nyo. At least may idea po kayo kung paano po maiwasan ang isang illegal recruiter o human trafficker po. Again po, naglipa na po ngayon dito ang illegal recruiters dahil nga po sa pandemic. Kung may mababalitaan po kayo sa mga magulang o estudyante nyo po na merong nagre-recruit sa kanilang magulang, papunta po na abroad, pakiabisuhan na lang po sana na makipag-ugnayan po muna sa POEA po para ho maiwasan na maging biktima ho sila ng illegal recruitment or human trafficking. Again, ang POEA po ay talagang nakaagapay sa mga kababayan natin na gustong mag-abroad at nasa abroad na po. Sa mga darating na buwan po, ang POEA magiging Department of Human Settlement and Department of Overseas Employment po. Magiging departamento na po kami. So, mas lalawak po ang coverage namin, pati po sa Philippine Overseas Labor Office magiging maisa sa ilalim na rin po ng departamentong gagawin po na from the POA magiging department na po. So again, maraming salamat po kay SDS Kappa, kay Ma'am Bingbong Sampayan na aking classmate po, kay Sir Eric Kilip at Ma'am Padrones at sa mga official po at teachers po ng DepEd po. Magandang hapon po.
Thank you so much, sir, for the very informative and helpful presentation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the awarding of Certificate of Recognition on the District BE, LCP, and Enrollment. May we call on the in charge to please do the honor? Sir Vince. Thank you.
Sir Kevin, paki-unmute.
Sige na.
Sige po.
Good afternoon to our Schools Division Superintendent, Sir Roger F. Capa, and to our Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Sir Arne and Sir Foss, and to our Division Chiefs, Ma'am Pilina Patrones and Ma'am Marquez. Good afternoon. I have the honor to present the awards for the top districts, or the first districts to comply with our reporting last month in the enrollment quick count and LIS enrollment, as well as the final submission of BELCT of the districts. Okay. Here are the first 3 districts to achieve 100% with a learner enrollment survey and quick count in the learner information system for SY 2021-2022. First is the Dumaran Island District. The second district to achieve 100% is the Cagayan Silio District. And the third is the Coron Coastal District. Tatlo lang po ang awardees natin dahil yung the next day na nag-update tayo, marami ng district yung naka 100%. Here is the certificate. Certificate is hereby awarded to Dumaran Island District for being the first district to achieve 100% in the learner enrollment survey and quick count in the learner information system for beginning of school year 2021-2022. Such compliance contributed much to the efficiency to the efficient delivery of services and achievement of these office deliverables given on November 16, 2021 at the Schools Division Office, Puerto Princesa City. Same certificate is awarded to Cagayan Silio District for being the second district to achieve 100% in the LIS quick count. And the third district to achieve 100% in the LIS quick count is the Coron Coastal District. Congratulations po. Another certificate, first 5 districts to achieve 100% with the enrollment of learners for the beginning of the school year 2021-2022 in the learner information system. Yung kanina po ay LIS quick count, dito naman ay actual enrollment na sa LIS. So our first district na naka 100% enrollment compared from previous school year is the Coron Coastal District. Second is Dumaran Island District. Third, Cagayan Silio District. Fourth, Batarasa District 2. And fifth is the Coron Inland District. Okay, here are the certificates. Certificate of recognition is awarded to Coron Coastal District for being the first district to achieve 100% with the enrollment of learners for beginning of school year 2021-2022 in the learner information system. Such compliance contributed much to the efficient delivery of services and achievement of these office deliverables given on November 16, 2021 at the Schools Division Office, Puerto Princesa City, Palawan. Same certificate is awarded to Dumaran Island District for being the second district to achieve 100% in learners enrollment. Cagayan Silio District, Batarasa District 2, and Coron Inland District. Congratulations po and thank you. Kasi sa school year na to, parang hindi malaking issue yung LIS para sa atin. Parang considered na siya as part of the routine ng ating school year. So dati tinitreat natin siya as special activity, ngayon po ay kasama na lang siya sa routine At inaasahan po natin yan na tuloy-tuloy hanggang sa mga susunod na school years. Okay, next. First 5 districts to submit the final district basic education learning continuity plan. Okay, the first district to submit the final BLCP is the Balabac district. Second, Rojas Central district. Third, Taytay 3 district. Fourth, Nara del Norte district. And the fifth is the Taytay 1 district. Certificate of recognition is awarded to Balabac district for being the first district to submit the final basic education learning continuity plan. Same certificate is awarded to the second district, Rojas Central district. And the third district is the Taytay 3 district. Same certificate is awarded to Nara del Norte district and Taytay 1 district. Again, thank you and congratulations.
Thank you so much, Sir Vince, and a heartfelt congratulations to all of you. Looking forward for the more success and achievement. Now that we are all geared up in this activity, it is our pleasure to entertain your questions, comments, and suggestions. Our floor is now open for our open forum.
Or raising hands now.
Just raise your hands if you have anything to say or ask.
Or
Thank
chat.
you.
Or chat. Use the chat box.
Or you
Kindly
can
use the chat box for your questions. Thank you.
Any question po, mga ma'am and sir?
Wala na po kayong questions. So very clear naman po ang mga presentations. And very detailed naman po ang mga information na binigay sa atin ng ating mga speakers. So thank you everyone for sharing us your time and knowledge for this activity. May we now call on our Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Sir Rufino Bipos, for the closing remarks. Hello, Sir Pos. Basahin ko lang, pwede daw po bang makahingi ng copy ng safety assessment tool, Ma'am Daisy? Yes po. Magpapalabas po ng memorandum and attachment po itong assessment tool.
And then send din po sila sa mga group chats.
Ito po naka-raise ang yung hand ni Sir Pablo Abon. Pwede pong i-chat na lang din daw po, sir.
Sir Pablo Abon, kindly chat po. Type your question sa chat box po natin. Thank you so much.
Ma'am Marlene. Ma'am Marlene, lahat ng materials na may kinalaman sa implementation ng limited face-to-face ay sa group chat na lang ipopost. Lahat po.
Thank you so much po, Sir Arnie.
To Ma'am Cheat po, yung sa recon po, kung December 20 ang deadline, ang bangko magbigay halos 2 months po.
Pwede po sila mag-request ng snapshot. Si school head lang po ang pwedeng mag-request ng snapshot.
Okay, thank you po, Ma'am Cheat.
Hello, Ma'am Bong.
So, wala na po tanong?
Ma'am Bong. Hindi kasi ako hindi ako ina-unmute ni Eric. Hindi nga ako ina-unmute ni Sir Eric.
Hello, Sir Foss. Hello,
Hindi
Sir
ako
Foss.
ina-accept
Na-unmute na po kayo ni Sir Kevin. Si Sir Kevin po ang may control ng atin pong facility this Mancom.
Okay.
Ano na po kayo? Unmute na po.
Okay, sige.
Okay, let's
Okay,
welcome again our Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Sir Rufino B. Foss, for the closing remarks.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the Schools Division Office of Palawan, and on behalf of the Schools Division Superintendent, Mr. Roger Capa, I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to each and everyone for virtually attending this division Mancom. Your presence today is a manifestation that you really support the programs and projects implemented by the division office. Once again, good afternoon and God bless us all.
Thank you, Sir Fines. We could not have done this successfully without our participants and speakers. Let us give ourselves a big round of applause for having this day.
Thank you so much, everyone. We do hope that you gained knowledge and has been inspired with today's activity. Let us now stand for our closing prayer.